Pastor? Good evening. Welcome to May 20, 2025 City Council meeting. Right now is 7:02 and meeting is now in session. Okay, any person wish to address the City Council during the oral communication must complete a speaker card that is provided at the entry to the City Chamber, Council Chamber, and submit the card to the Assistant City Clerk prior to the commencement of oral communication. Speaker card will not be accepted after oral communication has started. And tonight, invocation will be led by my good friend, Pastor Alfred Richardson from New Beginning Christian Fellowships on Glendora Avenue. There's a beautiful church of West Covina, and I will lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise, please.
Thank you for this opportunity once again. Bow your heads as we go in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here today seeking your guidance and blessings upon the city of West Covina. Bless its streets, its infrastructure, and every corner that holds the hopes and dreams of its people. Infuse this place with your peace, safety, and unity, that all may walk in paths with confidence and in trust. Guard and protect those who serve, the firefighters, the police, healthcare workers, this city council, and all who labor tirelessly for this city and this community. Pour your wisdom upon our leaders and decision makers, that they may govern with justice, compassion, and foresight. May this city be a sanctuary of kindness, diversity, and opportunity for every individual who is valued and uplifted in it. Help us to nurture a spirit of cooperation, understanding, and love amongst our neighbors and strangers and all who live here and work here in the city of West Covina. Grant us the courage to face challenges with resilience and the humility to learn from one another. May the light of hope shine brightly in every neighborhood, inspiring growth, renewal, and harmony. We ask these prayers in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please put your right hand to the heart and face the flag and follow my lead. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a seat, please. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Good evening, Mayor. Councilman Contos?
Here.
Councilwoman Diaz? Here. Councilmember Gutierrez?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado?
Present.
Mayor Wu?
Here. And City Attorney, do you have anything to report off on the closed section?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. With regard to item number 1, on a motion by Mayor Wu, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado, the council voted 3-2 with Councilmember Diaz and Councilmember Contos voting no to not continue the employment agreement with the city manager effective immediately. And also on item number 1, on a motion by Councilmember Gutierrez, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado, the council voted 4-1 with Councilmember Contos voting no to appoint Director of Public Safety Milan Marakic as acting city manager. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And we have a presentation. We have a lot of presentation tonight. It's all about public safety. So the first one, and we're missing April, we won, the Dispatcher Appreciation Month, and we want to come back, and we want to, and say thank you so much to the frontliner. And Police Chief, are you around?
Testing.
And can I find another one?
Oh, is this yours?
Yeah, no.
Oh, this is for me? Okay.
Testing.
Okay. And, over here. Let me read this, so I don't make any mistake, Our, dispatchers have a vital role in ensuring our community and staff safety and well-being. Our dispatcher team consistently demonstrate unwavering commitment with a professionalism, compassion, and customer service to our community. Here to accept this proclamation, and dispatcher supervisor Natalie Lundy. And I want to say this. Dispatcher is the front liner, because when you have an issue, who you call? You call 911, right? You call the police department. Who pick it up? The dispatcher pick it up about the issue, and this and that, and they put you in the right help and want people to help you right away. So these are so important. Without them, the police and fire don't know what's going on. So I think this is something so important, and that's why we want to say thank you. Thank you so much, and that's why we want to put you in the first item. And the police chief, since you in charge of all the safety, maybe you say something, then we have Natalie say something.
Well, just real briefly, I want to thank all of our dispatch staff. I'm so proud of you. For several years, I've had the opportunity to work hand in hand with them, and have just watched them develop their professionalism, their skill set to be one of the best dispatching team that I've ever seen. And the amount of the types of calls they take, they're the first people to answer the phone when the worst things have happened to people. And they do an amazing job of displaying empathy and professionalism, ensuring the safety for our community as well as our officers, and I just couldn't be more proud of them.
Go ahead, Abby.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to thank everyone for our support. Without everyone's support, we simply can't happen. We do answer calls, when people are at their worst, but we're there to help, and we understand that you're under stress. We don't take anything personally. Anytime that you need us, please call 911 or our business line for anything. If you have a question, please feel free to call us. Last year, we handled about 150,000 calls. Sometimes our center is only staffed with 2 dispatchers, and sometimes we're staffed up to 3. So sometimes we might be a little short with our calls, but please don't take it personally. There are a lot of incoming calls coming in. But again, we just want to thank everyone for their support for us.
Let's give them a hand, okay? When you called the police department or fire, fire now we go to Verdugo, but for a long time you'll go to our dispatcher right over here, in our city hall, and then they're working over 724 and to make sure our residents are safe. So the thing is this: you call when you need help, then somebody pick up the phone. Now you can see their faces. That's what the person, helping you, and to try to help you, try to assist you, and help you to hospital, or help you with the ambulance, or help you with a fire engine, or help you with a police patrol car to make sure you are safe. So thank you so much. Represent the great city of West Covina. We want to have proclamation. We want to thank you for your effort, your contribution to really keep our city safe. And then remember, in 2023, West Covina have been awarded by Forbes magazine of 100,000 above population, the number 3, the safest city in the nation. So because you guys, we have led outstanding of reputation. But thank you so much. Yes, they say here the,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Okay, Chief, you have to stay with me. It's all about your department. Okay, and the second one, proclamation. Okay, yes. Okay, proclamation honoring the National Police Week. Now, I would like to take this moment to recognize our police officer from May 15 is recognized as National Peace Officer Memorial Day. I think you want to speak about your trip to Washington, D.C. Okay, now a day, to honor and remember the courageous law enforcement, the personnel who were killed in the line of duty May 11 through May 17 as mark National Police Week allow us to remember and reflect on the sacrifice and the service of law enforcement personnel nationwide. And I think you just have a bicycle, okay, the Unity tour, okay, so I think you should explain to all our residents how touching and to remember all those people, okay, that sacrifice for us. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I please have Corporal Kenny Benitez come down here, and I'd like Lieutenant Brian Daniels to come up here. So first, I think it's absolutely fitting and appropriate to have Corporal Kenny Benitez here to accept this proclamation on behalf of the police department. 9 years ago to this day, Corporal Benitez was serving our community and was shot in the line of duty, protecting our community. And we are so grateful that he recovered, was back in patrol, and is out still protecting our streets today. And we are just very grateful for everything he's been through and how he's overcome, this incident, and has helped other officers with development with safety and tactics through his experiences. And he's one of our finest trainers and SWAT operators in our department today. So I think it's just absolutely fitting for him to be here to accept that. Secondly, this last week, and I'll let Lieutenant Daniels speak about it more. He has more detail. But just to summarize, there's a police, a law enforcement bicycle ride that spans over 300 miles along the East Coast and ends in Washington, D.C., right at the National Peace Officers Memorial. And representing the West Covina Police Department in the city of West Covina, riding that was Lieutenant Daniels. And the amount of training, the months of training that went into it was just unbelievable. I'll let him go into more detail with it. And not here today, but I'd like to recognize Sergeant Stephen McLean that provided support throughout the ride, as well as his father and former corporal with West Covina, Curtis McLean. And we also had our retired Lieutenant Houston Clements ride with Lieutenant Daniels. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be there to watch him come into the finish line. Not the finish line, but at the end of the ride. And the amount of just compassion and pride. There's families there. They're riding for families that have lost their loved ones, either this past year or 3 years ago. But the families all come to support these officers. And it was extremely emotional. And Lieutenant Daniels is pretty much pushing me to ride next year, so I got to get myself a bicycle now. But, I'm just very proud of him and very grateful for him representing our department. And I just feel so lucky to be leading a department with such great people. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Daniels, who will talk just a little bit about the Unity Tour.
A lot of people don't know what the Unity Tour is, but it is the largest fundraiser for National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. And in 2025, it marked its 28th anniversary. The Unity ride consists of riding almost 300 miles in 3 days. During each ride, we would stop at different locations, and we would honor an officer that had been either killed in the line of duty or died in the line of duty. Some of these stops would include some of the survivors, the family members, and they would come and join us for the recognition of their loved ones that have passed on. The Police Unity Tour's mission is to ensure that no police officer killed in the line of duty will ever be forgotten. The primary purpose of the Police Unity Tour is to raise awareness of the police officers that have died in the line of duty, and the secondary purpose is to raise funds for the National Law Enforcement Memorial. Our southern chapter that I participated with is Chapter 7, and they raised almost $500,000 for this chapter. There's a total of 13 chapters in total. Year to date, the Police Unity Tour has raised over $40 million for the Law Enforcement Memorial. The West Covina Police Department has participated for many years, and this year I was fortunate enough to be able to participate. I know that Officer Benitez has participated in the past, and it, like Chief said, it's a very emotional moment when you're riding in and you're seeing all the survivors of the loved ones that they have lost over a period of time. So it was an honor to represent the city of West Covina.
Thank you, Lieutenant Daniels.
I think you can see, I remember 2016, and then we in the event in the morning, and then we received a notification that one of ours, got shot. Okay, and we are so shocked. Okay, we just don't know. Okay, what to expect. But later on, they say you okay. Okay, so we say holy mackerel, because the people should know, for the police officer and the patrol on the street, they have a bullseye basically in their back. Okay, you never know when you pull over people. Some people will be doing something. Okay, and because in the United States, everybody sometimes they carry gun. Okay, illegally. Okay, at this and that. So you really don't know who is your person that will do harm to you. So the courage, okay, and the sacrifice for our officer and their family, and this is unbelievable. So we really have to appreciate, okay, the National Police Week, because without the police, we not going to be here. Okay, it's the same thing. Last time we talked about the appreciation of a military month, because without our military might to protect, we don't have a freedom over here. But at the same time, in the city, if we don't have a police and a fire, okay, then you're not safe in the city. So I think people should really appreciate, okay, and where's our tax dollar go to, it's basically go to our police and fire, make sure everybody's safe. But represent the great city of West Covina, we have a proclamation for your outstanding of a country bill and keep our city safe. Especially, I want to say again, number 3, the safest city national. So I thank you so much for your outstanding achievement. Yeah, go ahead.
And just one quick thing, being it's National Peace Officers Memorial Week, I wanted to recognize our 3 fallen officers, Officer Frederick Ham, Officer Jay Jackson, and Officer Kenneth Reedy, who all lost their lives in the line of duty here protecting the city of West Covina.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, next one, okay, still the police. Okay, and okay, our jailer. Okay, so basically proclamation honoring National Jailer Week. Okay, we have a jail in the police department, so if people don't know, okay, I tour, they put me inside, they're kind of small. I say I have a claustrophobia. Okay, so anyway, so I better don't get arrested. Okay, our jailer are responsible for the custody and the care of thousands of offenders every year, as well as the maintenance of the safe and secure facility. They provide a safe and professional environment for our officer and the inmate booked and housed in our jail facility, often to the risk of their own well-being. I would like to have our leader jailer, Joe Martinez, is over here. No? Okay, but over here on the script. But anyway, I will have a lieutenant to say something, and or chief. Thank you so much.
I just want to say, obviously, our jail staff we run a 24/7 operation in our jail. We have approximately 24 beds, and our jail staff just is constantly busy. So they're in there every day, booking all the people that we bring in, taking care of all the paperwork, and bringing in anybody, taking care of them, because they're, at this point now, our responsibility, right? So our jail staff works very hard. They keep us nice and out of trouble with the state and the feds, and make sure that everything we do online. And one thing I just like to mention is, a lot of times, we talked about explorers in the last meeting. Our jail staff sometimes also turns into police officers. One of our jailers is a recruit, so hopefully she will be attending the police academy. I actually started here in 1998 as a jailer, and then obviously I'm where I'm at now. So our jail is also another recruiting ground that we use for our law enforcement community, and we just appreciate all the work that they do.
So you can see we have a full service police department. We have from almost about 102 12 budget, okay? You're smiling, okay? We want to go to 120, but we need to make sure the budget is over there. So we are fighting for the budget and bring more income to us so we can have as a 120,000 population, 1,000 per, we need to have a more officer to patrol our street. And then the fire will say, hey, me too, okay? So I know. So we have to be fair and to make sure police and fire all hand in hand, working together, harmony. And I want to say this, jailers, okay, thank you so much that West Covina has a jail, okay, 24 beds. So we don't get arrested. Be careful, okay? I try to stay inside. I say it again, it's kind of small, but it's pretty clean, okay? But thank you so much as our great city again, a proclamation for National Correctional Officer Week. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay, next thing, I think two of you should stay here. Okay, yeah. No, don't go away. Okay, I think last meeting, you have a presentation about this morning, I just went to Nogales High School. And they have a police academy inside the Nogales High School. And at the same time, last time you're talking about Explore program. Okay, so to recruit our high school, okay, and the student, and to go to the, okay, future, okay, and maybe become a police officer, okay, and I know we have Explorer from the fire, they will go to the fire, okay, and the fire, become a firefighter. But the thing is, the Explore program is really can help all these youngsters to join and to learn, and also discipline, okay, and then later on, maybe go to the police academy and recruit, become our police officer. I think that's important. And last time, I think Brian, okay, or some other council member asking about, so your budget, okay, to recruit all these Explorer, because I know POA is not reached, okay, I think you guys need a lot of donation. So, and then you kind of say, hey, we need some donation to kick off this program. So, and then that was broadcast, and then I have a Chinese Association, West Covina, and they reach me, okay, and they say, hey, we want to help out for our future, because community should be all work together. So, okay, here, Chinese Association, West Covina, we come up, okay, and they want to do a donation for your Explore program. Okay, I don't know how much, okay, maybe $10, okay, okay, I don't know, you will take anything, they accept anything. So have you ever, don't show the check.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good evening, dear Mayor, dear council members, and Chief of Police, and our residents. My name is Daniel. I'm so honored to be here representing the Chinese American Association of West Covina, CAAWC. Tonight, CAAWC will donate $7,500 to West Covina Police Department Explore program. And I want to thank you, Mayor Tony Wu, who has personally matched the amount with this 7,500 contributions. Thank you so much. So with a total $15,000, we'll dedicate to empower our young people with the education and engagement in law enforcement. And I think the Explore program will serve as the vital bridge between our young people and the value of the service, the leadership, and the community involvement. And one of my neighbors are a policeman. So I feel like I'm very safe. So I'm really so proud of.
So you had to give more money.
We live a long time. And then our Mayor Tony Wu usually told us the policemen play a very important role in the West Covina community. Yes. So all of those inspire us to support this program. So together, we can make the West Covina safer and a more united for place for all from young people. Thank you.
Okay. Where's the money? Where's the check? Okay, and present the check to the lieutenant. Okay, and this is our Explorer, right? Is this okay? See, now you can go to competition. Okay, yeah. Now, okay, you have money now. Okay, and one thing is this. Okay, and when they say they want to donate $7,500, and I say, okay, let me find a donor. So I got an anonymous person want to donate another $7,500. It is not from me. Okay, this is anonymous. Okay, so this is another $7,500. Now you got 15,000. Now they have a uniform. Okay, and they have and the competition. And you can see it's a village to raise your children. Okay, we all together and to make sure our children have a future and they want to be an explorer. And then later on we have the fire. We in trouble. The fire say, me too. They want $7,500 too. Okay, you better go to donate. Okay, fundraising more money to donate. Okay, and next time. Okay, next time. Okay, well, I don't even know you coming today. Okay, so okay, let me go get my checkbook. Okay, so anyway, and do I have a proclamation? No, right? So basically, this is the thing. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, and I think you are going to go in the front. Okay, in the front, the pictures. Okay, see, we want to support our Explorer, the police. Yep. Yeah, come in. Okay, thank you so much, and be good and become our police officer. Okay, and then we have a next presentation. Councilman Gutierrez. Okay, let's get some fundraising for fire. Okay,
I'll find you guys money.
Thank you so much. Okay, next one we are going to go to the fire department. Okay, fire department Explorer. And the Eagle Scout Award presentation. Okay, who is going to come up? Chief, okay, Acting Chief Brown. And maybe you can invite them or come up or later what you want to do. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, if I could have Engineer De La Cruz come up, and then we'll have the Explorer post come up as well. While they're coming up, I also want to recognize the West Covina police dispatchers. Even though we moved over to Verdugo, they still take the initial call coming in from the citizens and then transfer it over to Verdugo. So even though we've moved over to a fire dispatch, we still appreciate you. You're still part of our family, and we want to recognize you guys as well. All right, so we've got a couple different parts here. The first part, we want to recognize the West Covina Fire Explorer Post 465. They recently participated in the Fire Explorer muster, and I'm going to have Engineer De La Cruz speak to what happened at the muster.
Good evening. My name is Brian De La Cruz. I'm an engineer here at Fire Station 2 on the Quint. I'm one of the Explorer advisors. Recently, we took our Explorers to the Merida Explorer muster. A muster is a competition. There, our Explorers participated in events that helped them with teamwork and fundamentals of basic firefighting. So they had different competitions, hands-on timed events. Some of them included 2-minute drill, hose drag race, make and break race, the bucket brigade, and the tire drag race. So some of these skills are kind of older techniques. They're traditional methods of firefighting, which is good for the Explorers. It kind of teaches them kind of older methods. Now we have all these modern day tools. So it's pretty neat for the kids. And most importantly, it teaches them teamwork, how to work together as a post, how to come together, communicate, get a task done. So overall, they placed 8th. We had 2 teams, 12 explorers, and there was 13 teams across Southern California. They did really well. They represented themselves and the department really well. So good job, guys.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate how proud we are of our West Covina Explorer post. They come once a week on Thursday nights, train every night alongside our firefighters to gain valuable experience, prepare them to go on to EMT school, the fire academy, and we've had quite a few of our explorers go on to get hired full-time, including Engineer De La Cruz. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fire Department. Thank you, Chief. Okay, you can see we have all these youngsters will one day become our firefighters. So, Chinese Association, maybe you need to open up your wallet. Okay, maybe go back to, okay, I think we have to be fair, okay, so I will find another anonymous people, maybe Brian, okay, so we can help you guys out. But I think we are very proud, okay, no matter police or fire, Explorer is our future. Because I've been seeing you guys a lot, okay, and you can be helping the city a lot. And we wish you all the best. We're proud of you. I think you will become one day as our hero and be helping our city. I think this is something important that we have to help our youth, okay, because they are our future. But thank you so much. Let's give them another hand. We don't have a proclamation, no. So look like we don't have a proclamation for you. We just have a thank you. Okay, yeah, okay, and with my mouth, with my lip, and possible checking the mail from the Chinese Association. So, but anyway, thank you so much. You want to come up together so we can have a picture? But thank you so much. We're proud of you. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, appreciate. Okay, let's give them another hand, please. Okay, thank you. Good job. Thank you. Good job. Okay, you want to do another presentation? Yeah.
Okay, the next part we want to recognize explorers Devin Cortez, Jaden Servin, and Jesse Salivar. They recently went to the U.S. Forest Service, hosted a 31st Annual Wildland Firefighter Academy. It consists of 4 weekends spanning 120 hours of training, and on April 27th, they graduated and were presented with a NWCG Firefighter 2 certificate. So this is just another example of them going out and getting additional training. We help support them. We make the contacts with the Forest Service to work with them to get them into these academies to gain more experience. Both, this particular one is in wildland firefighting. We can take a quick picture. And then we have one last one. The last one is for Matthew Campos. He is one of our explorers. He is also part of the Boy Scouts, West Covina Troop 433. A couple months ago, he reached out to us, approached Engineer De La Cruz about an idea that he had for his Eagle Scout project. So with that, I'm going to hand the mic over to Matthew and let him explain what his Eagle Scout project is.
had a little speech that I was going to say. Good evening, Mayor Wu, City Council members, Fire Chief Brown, fellow firefighters and explorers, and Boy Scouts. My name is Matthew Campos, and I am a senior for West Covina High School. I am also a fire explorer with the West Covina Fire Department, and also a Life Scout with Troop 433 at the West Covina Boy Scouts. I want to thank the West Covina Fire Department for allowing me to create these flag retirement bins for my Eagle Scout project. I am honored to have been given the opportunity to create these flag retirement bins for the city and its community members. I want to extend a special thank you to Firefighter Brian De La Cruz and the adult leaders for helping me make this flag retirement bins. I couldn't do it without you guys. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of idea of what this flag disposal box is. So Matthew made a contact with a postmaster and got 3 mailboxes donated for his project. He put the wrap on there and did the full design of how it is. And the purpose of it is when you're at your house and you fly the flag proudly around your house or at your business, you know, eventually the weather gets to them and they become tattered and not ready or, not properly displayed. So what you can do is you don't want to throw them in the trash. That's disrespectful to the flag for the country that and the men and women that serve our country. So what you can do is we plan to keep one of these boxes here at City Hall. We're going to place another one over at our Fire Station 2 by the Senior Center, and then another one at Fire Station 4. So they'll be spread out amongst the city. You can bring your flags at any time. Just drop it in like the same way that you would do your mail. And then once we'll periodically check them, and once we collect enough of them, we will bring them either to the American Legion Post 790, located on Azusa, or the West Covina Elks Lodge 1996, located on Merced, and they will dispose of the flags properly with the proper ceremony. So that's the purpose of this, and it's well needed within the community and the fire department, and we're so proud that Matthew was able to accomplish this for us. And I think it was a great project, not only for his scouts, representing the fire department, representing the Explorer Post, but most of all, representing the city of West Covina.
Well, Matthew, okay, this is outstanding design. Okay, I don't know why nobody think about this, but this is outstanding. Yeah, this is really can help. Okay, when you have a flag, it's going to rip this and that, then you have a place to recycle and put this in all the places. So represent the great city of West Covina, Matthew Campos, Scouting American Troop 433, for your outstanding of a design for this for our city, and not only that, especially to respect our flag. Okay, thank you so much for your outstanding achievement. Great job, great job, great job. Great job. Okay. And next one, the last presentation is a public work. Do we have a public work people coming up? Okay. And we have Mike Chrisa and Renee. Okay. Welcome. Okay. And okay. You want to come up? Okay. Oh, yeah. So let me read this. Okay. If you don't mind. They prepare. Okay. So I try to be fast. Okay. Not a jailer. We already passed. So let's go to the our appreciation of public works staff. Okay, I think a lot of people don't know. Okay, and they're the unsung hero. You see on the street, you see the people with the orange t-shirts and working under the 100 degree. and walking on the street and try to do the drainage and try to clean the street and try to help a lot of our issue. Okay, and especially when we have heavy rain and the public work go to the underpass and to pump all those flood water so people can safely go through that. You can see the public work staff that you don't see them, but they are equally important staff in our city. So annually in May, this year's thing is the people, purpose, and presence. Highlight 3 cornerstone idea that motivate public work professional to serve in their community every day. Meeting the need of people is what gives public work its sense of purpose. Many times, public work professional will never meet those who have been impacted, because when things are going right, nobody know the public work is there. When it's going wrong, I have an earful, they chew on me. What happened to the graffiti? What happened to the tree? Why is that overgrown vegetation? And I've been bugging them all the time to help to clean up, to beautification of the city. So public work is there, but without the fanfare, public work is ever present, working in the background to advance quality of life for all. I think let's give them a hand, because for the people working in the public work, that is so important, because the city, no public work, then basically the city will be a lot of trash, a lot of things going on. And Roseanne, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mayor Wu. Unfortunately, our Deputy Public Works Director, Raul Alvarado, could not be with us tonight. But what I would like to say is, first of all, I'd like to thank the Mayor and the City Council for always being supportive of our staff. We have very dedicated and hardworking staff members, so we appreciate the support and the leadership that you provide. And then, of course, to our staff, Mike, Renee, I know you are just a representation of the entirety of the department. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for all that you do for the community, for the residents, for the city of West Covina. I say this time and time again, but I truly believe it, that public works maintenance is truly the backbone of a city. So thank you for all that you do. And we look forward to honoring the department this week. So thank you.
And thank you so much. And I've been driving. Then I saw our staff with the yellow T-shirts. I stopped and I say, "Oh, whoa, thank you so much." And then I have a selfie with them. People say, "You selfie again?" No, I want to appreciate with our staff. They're over there and they're fixing the concrete, the sidewalk, and I think it's magnificent to see them. And if you see our staff on the street, maybe offer them drink, maybe offer them anything for them to cool down, because the summertime is coming up and they are working very hard for us. And Mike, you want to say something?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us up here today. I want to let you know on behalf of our team, it's an honor to serve this community. I've been fortunate to work here for over 24 years, and I'm just a small part of our team. We have over 31 individuals that are out on the street every day trying to keep our infrastructure in order and keeping your life very unimpactful, trying to keep everything going for you. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of my team that I'm fortunate enough to work with. They are a good group of guys, and they are working every day to get better at their craft and do what they can. So thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Renee Chavez, and I'm the management analyst for the department. I wanted to say thank you to our staff who shows up all day, every day, for whatever emergency in the regular workday. I think it's very important that we recognize them they're the people you don't see at the beginning of events. They do the setup. They're there during the events, and they are the people that actually take everything down, in addition to responding to the various emergencies. So it's a wonderful thing that we're actually able to celebrate them the 1 week that is actually dedicated to public works. And I think it would be great if our council members could actually speak to that as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to say, okay, and a great city of West Covina, without the great public work, then we will see the trash ooze out and the graffiti, all the places. But thank you so much. And a lot of people already told me, say, the graffiti get removed fast. So I want to thank you, because we don't like graffiti because it look like, okay, gangbanger, this and that. So we want to cover it up right away. We want a clean, safe, and proud city. So thank you so much. With a great city of West Covina, we're so proud to proclamation regarding the National Public Work Week. Thank you so much for work hard and clean up our city and make sure our city is beautiful. Thank you so much. And before I back to my seat, so we continue to our oral communication. I want to say this. Okay, this coming Monday is a memorial ceremony. Okay, over here in the courtyard. It's at 10 o'clock, and we will have a lot of Gold Star family to come into our city, and plus, okay, we want to really show our appreciation, especially pay tribute to those people with the ultimate sacrifice. A lot of them coming from our city. They fight for our freedom, and we should be here to say thank you, because without them, we won't be here with this freedom and to discuss this, to move on our city. So please, if you have time, come and join us on this coming Monday. And if you say, okay, beside the ceremony, what else? We have a lunch. I think we have a hamburger or hot dog for you if you want to stay with us. But thank you so much. Okay, appreciate it. Okay, okay. Any council want to say something? Okay, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I just want to say what a remarkable idea that our fire explorers and our Boy Scouts created. I hope our fire department or our city staff could do a press release for the media, because I think this is such a unique and such a prestige idea. I think it's so special to have that idea in our city. And when it comes to our public works, I want to thank our public works employees for all the hard work they do. I know most recently they were able to replace out the lights at Orangewood Skate Park, and now it's bright and illuminated now. They were able to change out the bulbs. So I want to thank each and every one of them for showing up and working very hard. But yeah, that's it.
Any other city council want to say something? Okay, then I'm going to move to oral communication. Okay, comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker, unless modified by the presiding officer or a city council. Request to speak on the agenda item will be heard prior to request to speak on the non-agenda item. Member of public may not engage in behavior that is disrupted and to the orderly conduct of the meeting, okay, that including but not limited to the speaking off topic, speaking beyond the speaker allowed time limit, making slanderous or profane remark, or using loud, threatening, or abusive language which disrupt, disturb the impede, or render invisible the orderly conduct of the meeting. Member of the public may not threaten any person with physical harm or act in a manner that may reasonably be interpreted as an imminent threat of physical harm. When you hear your name being called, please sit in the front row and designated for public speaker. You can in the line, or you can sit in the front row, and the time will start when your name is called. Okay, Assistant City Clerk, how many speakers we have tonight?
Mayor, we have 9 speakers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our first speaker is Jerry Patras, followed by Jim Grivich, followed by Doug Ford.
Good evening, Council. Tonight I'm going to talk.
You want to lower your mic, please? Yeah, thank you.
It stayed. Okay. I'm going to comment on financial issues. I was a little surprised, but not, I guess, really, to see the city's has a deficit for 5 years, and it's on the consent calendar. The consent calendar, being, for those that don't know, is where routine items are placed that can be acted on by one roll call vote unless a member of the council requests a special item. I have a question. It's 5 years of deficit spending. You have a plan to deal with it? Are you going to deal with the deficit, or should we residents just learn to live with it? It's our money, and I do think we are entitled to an explanation of what your plan is, because you've been in office for a long time and haven't dealt with it effectively. And that's not okay, and it needs to stop, I think. I would like to sincerely thank Councilman Cantos. The May 6, 2025 City Council meeting minutes that said that he requested that the staff be instructed to put together a budget study group where the community is together along with the council at an open meeting to talk about what to spend our money on, recognizing our need to stay in the black. It's important for us to prioritize and do it together using the city of Walnut as a model. There was a second by Diaz, thank you, and a vote. And it was approved 3-2, and I'd like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Letty Lopez Viado for supporting that, and Councilwoman Rosario Diaz for supporting it. This is our city, and it's been a long time since we've had any real serious input into budget workshops. They have not been, in the last few years, sincere input. They go through the motions. Thank you, Councilman Cantos, for recognizing the residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Jim Grivich, followed by Doug Ford, followed by Christina Larios.
I'd like to start with a personal note. I was Scoutmaster of Troop 433 45 years ago. It makes me a little old, but okay.
You're still young.
I had the honor to have 5 Eagle Scouts while I was Scoutmaster, the 10 years I was doing that. And all of them have been very successful in their lives. At least in those days, the Boy Scouts really worked and did wonders. And I asked the Scoutmaster to stay just to hear that little speech. The second part is more serious city business. As you know, I've been coming here for 8 years. Maybe you don't. I've been coming here for 8 years. And I've been on the audit committee for 8 years. I've been talking about primarily one thing, which is deficit spending. Your state auditor has come to the city 3 times to tell you you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't spend more than you take in, but you keep doing it. You're projected to keep doing it for the next 5 years. And I've seen no action prior to the 2 newest members of the audit committee, Councilman Cantos and Councilman Gutierrez, finally are putting some things on the agenda to start trying to deal with fiscal deficits. And I'm hopeful that there will be a plan coming and to stop it before you go bankrupt, before you have to fire a whole bunch of people. Because that's where it goes when you don't do anything. And I would like to remind you that there's 3 outstanding agenda items, and the audit committee voted to get staff to do something about those 3 items, which is one of them is deficit spending. The other is questionable use of city resources, and the third is inadequate attention to getting value for your contracts. You simply don't look for other possibilities in spending. And I hope that you seriously consider taking action, especially about the biggest issue of all, which is your enormous pension liability. That is what's actually causing this problem. And All I can do is ask. I'm not sitting up there. I'm hoping this time, I'm hopeful that something will happen.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, appreciate.
Doug Ford, followed by Christina Larios, followed by Mario Sobavaro.
Hi, guys. The first item I'd like to talk about is item number 6, the selling of the $2 million Proposition A money for $1.5 million to go into an unrestricted general fund money. That's given up $500,000. So not that I'm against it, but my question is, have we reached out to other agencies or cities to buy this for a better price? The city of West Hollywood is currently buying them right now. The city of Long Beach, Long Beach Transit is currently buying them right now. So I'm just asking if we've gone out to other cities or agencies to get a better price on that, or did we just go with Foothill Transit? I know we sold them some in 2020, but was that the only people we talked to buy these, and are we getting the best price for our dollars? Not against it, though. Second, I would like to just ask, are we going to open up the search for the new city manager? We deserve the best. I am not standing here today saying Myland is not the best. I am just standing here today saying what is the process, and are we going to be looking for the best city manager to fill this position? Also, thank you, Ollie, for standing up for West Covina over and over again. The third is the traffic control parking sign vendor TransTech. We hired for $500,000 to do phase 2 of the health department. I know I've been up here several times asking, but we still never heard from them on what phase 2 and what they've done with $500,000. I continue to request that they give us a detailed presentation to the council and the community regarding what the $500,000 went to. I don't understand the hesitation to have them do a presentation as they present all the time on parking and traffic for you guys. So let's hear from them what they've done with that $500,000. Lastly, I'd like to just ask that we bring back, it was great to see the dispatchers here tonight. But, we let go last year, or we didn't let them go, but we dissolved the fire department dispatchers. Let's bring those city jobs back again. Let's bring it back. Let's bring the fire dispatchers back. Let's not send it to Northern California and keep giving them our money. Same with the business license. Let's bring that back to the city and get our residents jobs in this city and bring it back. Thank you very much.
Okay, next speaker, please.
Christina Larios, followed by Mario Sobavaro, followed by Luis Sanchez.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, staff, and residents of West Covina. I'm Christina Larios. I'm the interim library manager at West Covina Library. And I wanted to share that LA County Library is going to be offering free semi-private tutoring in reading and math for grades 1 through 6. I'm happy to announce that West Covina Library is one of the select locations. The session 1 is for reading. It begins June 17th through July 10th. Session 2 is for math, which starts July 15th through August 7th. So if you are interested, you can check out our website, lacountylibrary.org/summer-stars. And this is free for grades 1 through 6. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Mario Sobavaro, followed by Luis Sanchez, followed by Mario.
Mario.
There we go. Good evening, City Council. No prepared speech today. Actually glad to see Troop 433 still going strong. I was a member of that. Matter of fact, Mr. Grivich here was my scoutmaster when I was out of St. Christopher back in the day. I remember going in his backyard with all the...
You are 2 years old at the time?
Redwoods. But what's that?
You are 2 years old at the time?
Yeah, something like that. I remember didn't go the Eagle route. Ended up going into the Police Explorer program here in West Covina from there. But glad to see that they're still going strong. Wanted to speak on 2 items. One was the dog park that I kind of heard last city council meeting. 2018, I'm an avid attendee of the dog park. We are very aware that there is development coming. Would like to collaborate with the developer to get the best option. I believe they have to have a green belt. If we could get the green belt to kind of incorporate to the park and make the park bigger, that would be great. But we understand what's going on. A lot of the people at the dog park understand and understand what you guys are discussing with the matching the grants and so forth. Let's just make it happen. Cameron would be a nice dog park as well. Secondly, today just happened to be in the area and noticed that names were put onto the memorial wall. So I want to thank those that were party to getting that done. It is very much appreciated and noticed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Next speaker, please.
Luis Sanchez, followed by Mario M., followed by Trevor Jackson.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you for your time. My name is Luis Sanchez. I live in West Covina for about 9 years now. I'm in District 4. I voted for you. But I wanted to address something about the street sweeping signs that just recently were put up in our neighborhood. It's created a lot of confusion because on both sides of the street, they say it's the same day at the same time. And then when we walk around the neighborhood, it's also Wednesday, 7 o'clock to 11 a.m. And that's creating a lot of confusion amongst my neighbors because I have an older gentleman who works nights and he's wondering where he's going to park his work truck because he's figuring he might have to stay up until 11 o'clock to be able to park right by his house. I have an older lady who rents a room down the street in a house and she doesn't have parking inside the driveway, so she has to park it on the street and she's wondering where she's going to park. I know the program hasn't started, and I'm not debating the merits of street sweeping. I'm just giving you feedback that its implementation doesn't make sense right now. It usually goes, if you go to any other city, on one side of the street, it'll be like Monday street sweeping. And then on the opposite side of the street, it would be Tuesday or another day, not on the same day. So if you guys can talk to whoever's responsible for the zoning or the program itself of how it's going to be implemented, it would be a benefit to the city because otherwise it just looks like you're passing an undue burden on the residents of the city as opposed to trying to help keep the streets clean, keep the drains flowing, which, again, I'm not arguing about the merits of street sweeping, but the implementation so far that I've seen has created a lot of confusion. And I know the program hasn't been scheduled to start until June or July. I called the office earlier. But please do something about this because there are people who are going to be affected by this if it's not rolled out properly. Thank you for
Yeah, we still fine-tune it. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, thank
I appreciate it. I was just giving you feedback. I don't normally come here, but it got to a point where I know two neighbors who are really confused and they're afraid of
we try to work in process.
To be doing.
Yes.
I do appreciate it.
Well taken. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Mario M., followed by Trevor Jackson, followed by Mr. G.
Mario.
Good evening, City Council. Thank you for allowing me this time to speak with you. I'm here on two reasons. The city has installed on the east side of Azusa Avenue, Cortez, Walnut Creek Parkway, Hollenbeck, they install street sweeping signs that say no parking on Wednesday from 11 to 7. However, the problem is they put it on both sides of the street, meaning we can't park on either side of the street. And most of the people on Walnut Creek Parkway, such as ourselves, we have 3 vehicles and 1 car garage. And our garage is used as a storage, basically. So we can't park in the garage. So we have no place. If this sign exists, we won't be able to park on either side of the street because this sign says we got to clear the entire street. That includes Hollenbeck, Cortez, our street, the east side of Hollenbeck. And I drove on the other side of west of Hollenbeck, west of Azusa. They have off of Stewart and Walton Creek, their signs say Thursday. And the problem with them is just like ours, it's on both sides of the street. So even on the west side of Azusa, they can't park on either side of the street. They're going to have to move their cars somewhere. Now, I try to find an area to where we can park our cars, but nobody can give us a definite answer where to park our cars. Now, the director here, can't pronounce his last name, he suggested we widen our driveways, park in the garage. That's not an option for most of the residents in the street. I emailed Councilwoman Diaz. Thank you for your replies. I really appreciate your replies and your concern about our concerns, and that It's a simple fix. You just need to have alternating days on both sides of the street so people can move the one side and then move it to the other side the next day. That's being said, I also emailed Ms. Councilwoman Diaz signs that my mom's house is in Valinda on the other side of Stater Brothers off of Amar Road. Now they use Monday one day, Tuesday the next day. So everybody can move their cars accordingly. And that way nobody gets a ticket and both sides of the street get swept. That's item number one. Item number two is I also noticed that if you're coming in from Stewart or Lock Allen onto Stewart, they have double yellow sign, double yellow streets. There's no break in the lines, meaning if you crossed over, you're crossing over double yellow. And it's also the same sign is coming in from Azusa onto Stewart. Same scenario. Both lines go like this. There's stop signs there, but both lines are double. So if you were to come in from Azusa and cross over and go into Walnut Creek, you're crossing over two lines. That's a double yellow. That's 2 tickets. So all they have to do for this one is go back and paint a broken line on the inside, and now you can legally cross over. Thank you for my.
Thank you. It's a good point. Thank you. Appreciate it. Could you leave that to our city clerk? You got it already, right?
I'm sorry?
Contact information, Mayor.
You got it already.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Our next speaker.
And she has my contact too. Thank you. I appreciate your.
Thank you so much. Okay, next speaker, please.
Thank you. Next speaker is Trevor Jackson, followed by Mr. G.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, council members, city staff, and residents of West Covina. First, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to speak and for hearing me out again from our previous conversation. My name is Trevor Jackson, and as I mentioned before, I'm a local entrepreneur and artist, born and raised with a heart for the city. I'm here today to respectfully follow up on my request to receive approval for a street vendor license. My goal is to set up shop on weekends, specifically Saturdays and Sundays during the summer. I'm building something meaningful through my brand, Young Visionaries, which represents positive identity, community pride, and forward motion. This is more than just a clothing line. It's a platform for inspiring youth, promoting small business culture, and creating a safe, creative environment that brings value to West Covina. I truly believe that allowing vendors like myself to operate in designated areas will bring life to our weekends, boosting local engagement, offering something fresh for residents, and showing city support for homegrown businesses. I also want to express my interest in becoming a performer at any upcoming city events as an artist. My performances are not just entertainment, they're uplifting, motivational, and rooted in real stories. I represent the kind of positive, culturally relevant voice that resonates with young people and families alike. To sum it up, I'm here to ask 2 things. My request to be approved for weekend street vending for licensing this summer, and my desire to be included as a performer for West Covina's hosted events. This is my second time coming before you because I truly care about the city of West Covina. I want to contribute the growth and vibrancy of West Covina, not just as a business owner, but as a local who's invested in our community's future. Thank you again for your time, and I look forward to the chance of speaking with you guys and building something with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Mr. G.
Okay.
Good evening, councilmen and women and mayor and staff. First of all, Oli, thank you for putting in the budget last time. I have a question. I asked once before. I wanted to know what the legal definition of a resident or citizen was, because I've noticed we're spending a lot of money on non-residents. We're running a deficit, so I think we should probably focus on our residents first. So please, I'd like a definition. Also, I noticed that some of the businesses here, we're pro-police and stuff like that, pro-fire. We've upgraded the back alleys over here in Old Town West Covina, but there's still, when are we going to enforce the loitering laws? We're still putting people out there that are graffitiing. For the businesses, I have gone and for the last 6 months, established going into businesses, trying to eat there. And I look around. Some of the more small mom and pop businesses get graffiti. I mean, this type shouldn't be tolerated. we should have a higher standard. And also, along with the parking issue, I thought the people that were going to install the parking weren't going to put it dead center on somebody's property. I was driving towards South Hills Country Club going eastbound on Cameron from Azusa, and I noticed there were over half of them are dead center in somebody's piece of property. I thought they were supposed to be like a joint to one side or the other, so if you walked out of your house, you're not going to see a sign. And around the 2500 block to about the 2100 block, or even a little bit before that, those signs are dead center somebody's property. That doesn't look good for the city. It loses the value of the people and loses faith. And I remember specifically hearing that they were going to do their best. And from what I see, they need to do better. And I want to thank you for your time, and especially the loitering around the old city center. It's important for these little businesses.
Thank you, Mr. G. Appreciate it. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
No further speakers, Mayor.
Okay, Assistant City Manager, do you want to answer some of the question? Okay, and yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to take a moment just to address some of the comments that were made during oral communications. First off, I want to thank both Jerry Poitras and Jim Grivich for your continued interest in the City of West Covina's financial health. As we close out this fiscal year 24-25 and work towards the budget for next fiscal year, the Finance Department with city staff are also reviewing practices and procedures in order to address any cleanup or concerns that need to be taken care of. So your comments were noted, and again, thank you for coming this evening. Doug Ford, we appreciate your thoughts and observations regarding the Proposition A exchange, TransTech, presentations, dispatch, business license. It is evident that you're coming from a place of care for the community, and please be assured that the City Council takes your thoughts and observations into consideration. So thank you. Christina Larios, we appreciate you being here. I don't know that there she is. The West Covina Library continues to be a cornerstone of our Civic Center complex and a partner in our community. Thank you for providing the updates each and every week. And if we can assist you in promoting your summer programs for our community members, please feel free to reach out. We would be happy to do so. Mario, thank you for being here tonight, your continued engagement around parks and programs, and of course, thanking and acknowledging the work that the City Council as well as staff did in order to make it happen to have those 3 names added to the memorial wall. We appreciate the continued dialogue that we have with you, always focusing it in a positive manner, so thank you for that. Luis, Mario, Trevor, and Mr. G, your feedback regarding street sweeping signs did not go unnoticed. Just as Mayor Wu had indicated, we are still in the implementation phase. We're still tweaking code enforcement. The Public Safety Department is present along with police, Public Works. All ears are listening, and adjustments will be made. I can't speak to what those will look like at this time as we are continuing to assess, but thank you for providing your feedback. Mayor, City Council, I hope that addresses.
Yeah, thank you so much, City Manager. So I just want to share with you guys. Okay, and yes, okay, it's a working process. Okay, we already talked to the street sweeping company. We try to work it out, and including the installer. And last time we have Councilman Dia. Okay, have a Mother May. We want to have some kind of improvement. So we are working, see how we can minimize the interrupt of people parking this and that. And it's only a couple hours a week. We just want to make sure the sweeper can over there clean and the street. And I just want to let you know we are working. Make sure that issue will be addressed. Yeah, I agree. The 2 sides and the entire neighborhood all in the same time. It's where you park. And it doesn't make any sense. We know it. We know it. But now we just want to finish up, and then we starting cleaning it up, and then find the feedback from the resident and see how we can improve and correct it, and to make sure minimize interrupt of your living in the city. We want you to enjoy it, clean, beautiful, safe city, and that is our agenda. And make sure we can clean your street, because you can see it. If we don't do it, and the streets look pretty filthy, and we really want to make sure. But we will try to make sure this issue will be addressed and to make sure everybody kind of minimize the interruption for your daily life. Yes, Councilman, Gutierrez, go ahead.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off what Mayor Wu stated and Councilwoman Rosario Diaz stated, we're also keeping track of the streets that need to be redone on those signage areas. So I think TransTech, are they here today? Is TransTech here? Okay, perfect. So they're notating down. They're going to notate down your street too, and once the implementation of all the installations are done, they're going to review all those streets to see which streets need to be redone to make sure there's adequate parking. So, yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, there's no interaction. We just want to finish. I'm sorry. Okay, we just want to finish. Okay, but again, well taken about all your concern. We received quite a email regarding from all the area. They all have the same issue. No matter north, east, south. It's a big project. Implement weekly street sweeping, and we understand, okay, they will have some kind of frustration, this and that. But again, the city will work with a contractor at the same time, working with the sweeper, okay, and we want to minimize. But let us continue to work. You won't get any ticket, okay? So we are moving into the correction and make sure, okay, everybody can park someplace not too far, okay? Okay. So understand. Let's move on the consent calendar. Okay. Any city council want to? Okay. No, hold on. City manager, you want to have anything to report?
We do have a city manager's report that I can give on behalf.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you would like me to do so.
Why not?
Sounds good. All right, Fausto, you going to help me out? All right, perfect. Go ahead and advance to the next slide, please. So we wanted to provide the community with an update. I know that Mario had alluded to it during our oral communications, but the Veterans Memorial is receiving an update. We actually had our contractor out today to go ahead and add 3 honorees to be named on that memorial just in time for our upcoming Memorial Day services. With the assistance of former West Covina Mayor Lloyd Johnson and the West Covina Historical Societies, these new additions were verified to have been West Covina residents who served in World War II. These honorees are William Thomas Lang, Jack Winton Wilkie, and Homer Hobart Cushman. Next up, we'd like to point out an award that was given to our West Covina Chamber. The award was awarded on Thursday, May 8th, 2025 by the California Association of Local Economic Development, their 2025 Awards of Excellent program. And so the category that the West Covina Chamber was recognized in was in the economic development programs. This category recognizes outstanding and innovative programs which have made a significant contribution to the field of economic development during 2024. Programs have managed resources to influence or carry out economic development policy in a progressive, timely, and or cost-effective manner. Also discussed during our presentations was the police unity tour. So our officers actually attended this year from May 10th, 2025 through May 12th, 2025. The 2025 police unity tour is an annual bicycle ride to raise awareness and honor fallen law enforcement officers. The tour takes place over several days and culminates in a ride-in and ceremony at the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. Thank you. Go back one, please. Perfect. The city of West Covina actually held 2 Mother's Day celebrations on Friday, May 9th, 2025. There was a Mommy and Me tea party at the Shadow Oak Community Center that featured tea, appetizers, fun activities, including painting, and then a Mother's Day at Cortez Park Community and Senior Center that featured lunch, music, dancing, and fun. And there is our mayor with his dancing shoes on. So thank you, Mayor. And I also believe our Mayor Pro Tem attended the event at the Shadow Oak Community Center. So thank you for your support of the staff and the community. Go ahead and advance to the next slide, please. Okay, as a public service announcement, the Los Angeles County Department of Animal Care and Control is holding their Tales of Valor. In honor of Memorial Day, the Department of Animal Care and Control will be offering a special adoption promotion from May 23rd through the 31st. During this time, adoption fees, including spay, neuter, and microchipping fees, will be waived for veterans and military families who adopt a cat or dog from one of their 7 animal care centers. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, we wanted to make a note that on May 19th, 2025, the California Department of Housing and Community Development sent a letter to the city indicating that the city's housing element update is in compliance with state law and is certified. The city has been working with the HCD on the housing element update since 2020. A certified housing element allows the city to access key state grants and programs, and also allows the city to retain local control over land use and protects the city against builders' remedy consequences and risks of certain lawsuits. And then, of course, we do have some upcoming events. Right around the corner from us is our Memorial Day ceremony, which is scheduled for Monday, May 26, 2025, here at the Civic Center courtyard from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Our Parks and Recreation Master Plan Workshop number 2 will take place on May 28th at the Cortez Park Community Senior Center from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have a District 4 community meeting here at West Covina City Hall on June 11th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And the summer concert series on Wednesday nights begins next month, June 18th, and will run through July 30th. Mayor Wu, members of the City Council, this concludes the report. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Any City Council want to add on or a question? Otherwise, I'm going to move to consent calendar. Okay, we have 1 to 7. Any City Council want to pull any? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Okay, and Councilwoman Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 3.
Okay, item number 3. Any City Council? Council Member Gutierrez, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do number 4 and number 6.
Number 4 and number 6. And okay, Council Member Oli.
I was going to also ask for 6, so it's already added. So thank you.
If the council doesn't mind, can we do number 6 first, number 4 second, and number
Hold on.
3?
No, just go to the number.
Let's do it in order? Okay.
Yeah, let's go number. Don't confuse. Okay, okay, so do I have a motion to approve 1, 2, 5, and 7?
Motion.
Okay, and who want to go first? Okay, Councilwoman, not yet. Councilwoman Diaz, okay, move the motion. Second by Mayor Pro Tem Letty Lopez-Viado. Roll call, please.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilwoman Diaz, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Lopez-Viado to approve consent calendar items with the exception of 3, 4, and 6. Councilman Contos?
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez-Viado? Aye. Mayor Wu?
Aye, and the motion approved, and 5-0, and we move on item number 3. Who put this? Okay, Councilwoman Diaz, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to focus on
Yes, agreed.
attachment number 2, section 22-174, parking prohibited during certain days or hours, preferential parking permits. Under the number C, I want to add a couple of streets there that are not included that should be. So the streets, these are south of Workman Avenue. That would be North Phillips Avenue, East Idaho Street, East Shamwood Street.
What page are we on? What page are you on?
I don't have a, I guess it would be.
If I may, through the chair, at your desk is a red line version of attachment number 2 that you have to look at. The red line version did not get uploaded.
Oh, so then that would be on page, it would be on the last page. Oh, no, take that back. That would be on
Red line.
second to last.
Reversion.
The revision.
Okay, chapter 22.
So what section again?
That would be 22-174.
Okay.
So you see under parent C, it talks about the following streets or portions thereof are herein designated as streets for which preferential parking permits may be issued. So these are listed here, but when I had a meeting with the neighborhood there, they don't have their streets listed. And I had requested that this be included, and it wasn't.
So you want to add on?
I want to add these on here.
Okay. Can we add on?
We are in the process of preparing a separate ordinance for the street parking program. However, it's within the City Council's purview to make changes to any of the items presented at today's meeting if the council feels that it's
Mr. Mayor, this came as a council request for the change in composition of the traffic committee. And so you can see by your red line that subsection C was not touched.
No.
But since and that was not a direction by the council, but I guess it was a direction by the council earlier. But this is first reading or introduction. We can add those now, and then second reading they'll be adopted.
Okay.
So do we have any issue? Do we need traffic engineer to okay with that? Do we need that?
It looks like those streets that council member Diaz mentioned are posted.
So it's okay.
But it is not included in the current code. However,
so it can be included.
It can be included, yes.
Got it.
However, just note that we are preparing a separate ordinance, so this section may change in the future as well.
Understand. Okay, Council Member Gutierrez, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's actually a couple of streets missing off this list. I think there's some streets in District 1 that are not on here either. Because they have signage that says permit parking only, but they're not on here. So maybe.
Correct. That is part of the update that we're working on.
So you guys will you guys have to bring that back to us, or you'll do it by yourself?
Yes, we are in the process of writing that up. And
okay.
We will be bringing it to the City Council.
Okay.
So we can approve this first, and then we add on. Yeah. If we need more of the street need to be add on, we can add it for next meeting.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, Councilwoman Diaz.
Okay, the reason why I want to add them now is because I had requested them since last year. And so I just want to make sure that they're there. And maybe when you cut and paste the new ordinance, then my streets will be there.
Okay.
Okay?
That's fine.
Okay, then let's do that.
So can we add on?
Yes.
Do we need a motion for that?
Yes.
Okay, you want the motion?
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to add?
Yeah, I'll make.
Hold on. Let go first.
I was make a motion.
Yeah. So go first.
So make a motion to add.
Add your street.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to add these streets, which is, I don't know if you've already, did you?
I have North Phillips, East Idaho, and East Shamwood.
Shamwood. And it would be East Idaho.
I'm sorry?
Idaho.
Thank you.
And then the streets south of East Roland Avenue would be La Brita Avenue. And I'm not quite sure if Phillips is part of that, but we'll have to verify that. Or maybe I shouldn't even add it now. La Brita. That would be
when?
Southeast Roland Avenue. South of Roland.
How do you think?
We have a list of streets that are currently posted, but is not in the municipal code. We can just motion it to add all the streets that we have on the list that's posted, but not in here.
So what you want?
I just wanted for the record that I did that.
And you want to add some street? Okay.
Go first.
Yeah. Okay. Council Member Gutierrez. And then we go to.
Okay. No. I was just wondering. Maybe because you're going to come back with a list of more streets that are missing on here. So I was wondering maybe we could make sure we document Councilwoman Diaz's streets, so it's make sure that they're on the list that's going to come to us, and then also make sure the streets that are missing in I think in my district are missing some streets on here.
Which one is your street?
There's a couple, but I don't know them offhand.
You can add it
in the future.
Yeah, Yeah, so maybe
first.
Yeah, so make sure. Yeah, so maybe we could add hers, and then you'll come back at the next meeting with an updated list.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mayor Poten?
Thank you, Mayor. I mean, it would make sense just to add all the streets, because I know in my district, they implemented no parking because of their border of La Puente, and the apartment complex have been parking in their area. So I think about 3 years ago or so, or they implemented this and they put that in their street. So I just want to make sure all streets, in all districts are added. I can't recall.
We can do it next
time.
time.
Yeah, I mean, it's near border La Puente.
That's a bunch of.
Yeah, okay.
If you, I mean, not me doing next time, but if you already have that information, it's just gather. It shouldn't have to be coming from us to explain this.
Quite true. Okay, Councilman Oli Cantos?
I'd like to second Councilwoman Diaz's motion to add the streets as named.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, that included the introduction of this ordinance and adding those streets, correct?
Correct. Currently, we already have what we have. Right now, we add, Councilwoman Diaz about those streets that she's been asking, and I remember she's been asking those streets, to be included in the list. And so I have a first and second, and roll call, please.
Thank you. A motion by Councilwoman Diaz, a second by Councilman Contos to introduce the ordinance and add specific streets in Councilwoman Diaz's district. Councilman Contos?
Aye.
Well,
You want to say something? Is she still something we
add on.
roll call?
So in regards to this, I know you mentioned that you're going to do a separate ordinance for the street sweeping one because of the parking signs.
Not for the street sweeping one, but for the parking
for the no
program in general.
Okay, because I know it was discussed. I know in regards to assisting those that have like the street sweeping. I know I've discussed with staff that possibly that they won't sign or citation like after the street sweepers pass through, even though it says till 11 o'clock. But if the street sweeper passed through at 10, they can go ahead and park at that location without getting a penalty because it says no parking until 11.
Yes.
I want to make sure that is.
Mayor,
this is different than what we try to prove. Right?
We're working on that as well, but that is separate from the street parking permit program.
This is a street parking permit program. Yes, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, just a question. I support Councilwoman Diaz's thing. I just want to make sure I understand. Does that also include to add the missing streets from, I think, District 3 and 1?
So, can I talk? My understanding is they brought this before us. While I was reviewing my agenda, I went through and I found the missing streets in this area.
Okay.
So I had already had that in the back of my mind, so I wanted to add them, which I had requested since last.
If you have your street, we can add on, but currently we only have her street.
In the future, I'm guessing when they bring back the revised ordinance, at that point, you can check to see if they have your streets.
Agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you add that?
Yeah, roll call, please.
Can you add that to your motion?
No.
It will be brought back?
I don't want to.
You can put it back.
I don't want to make it complicated.
Yeah. When is it coming back?
Yeah, we will bring back. Okay, next time. Roll call, please.
I just have one question. When is it coming back?
We don't know. Okay.
We're working on that.
We're working on it.
Okay.
It will come back soon.
Okay, great.
It will come back soon. You okay? Okay, roll call, please. Let's get over.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado?
Aye.
Mayor Wu?
Aye. And approve 5-0. Okay. I think they have some concern by the outer district. So please bring it back maybe next time. This is how many vote we need? Second time, two time? Yeah. So next time you can bring back when we do the second and the hearing, then we can add on their street. The next time bring your street up, and then we can add on next time.
So you think like in 2 months, the revision will be brought back?
No, I think
I'm talking about this revision. You're going to revise it, right?
Yes, we're revising it. It's not going to be in 2 months. It's going to be sooner.
Oh, okay.
It'll be very fast.
Okay, yeah, great.
So could you give an estimated time when you can maybe next meeting in June, second meeting in June?
For the second reading, I think second meeting in June.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So then you can bring it back.
July 17th.
No, we don't have to.
That's what I was trying to understand.
Yeah, got it.
June 17th.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, then we'll go to the agenda number 4. Number 4, yeah. That's from, Councilman Councilmember Gutierrez, go ahead.
So for number 4, I believe there's major inaccuracies on this report. Based upon the research I did on the financials and the documents that I was presented, this presentation has major errors and major flaws. It states that we're going to be in a deficit, but when we were provided this our budget analysis, it showed that every department got an increase in the budget, which resulted in I don't know how to say it, but purposely a deficit, and this deficit is not true. So I would like to see a major revision done on this document, and hopefully be brought back to the next meeting.
You want the acting city treasurer to maybe share some light with us how you come up with this number?
Mayor, would you like the acting finance director to come up? Oh, Maria Luisa.
She's already there.
Perfect.
I saw her already.
Perfect.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilman and Councilwoman. I bring before you the long range. It is a time to recalibrate looking forecasting for the next 5 years. I try not to go overly conservative, also not under budgeting anything. There were some underlying assumptions. I did have prudent assumptions when it came to revenue. However, the expenditures were growing at a faster pace than the revenues were. And that's what was projected. The major contributors to that in this report were the unfunded accrued liability and workers' comp and general liability. So I used the same assumptions that we had for the last 5 years to kind of gauge where we would be for the next 5 years for workers' comp and general liability. So those were the underlying, and they were huge. 2 years ago, if you remember, for our annual comprehensive financial report, we reported that the workers' comp and general liability actually doubled. Now, last year, it did decrease $1 million, but it had already doubled up to the 12 million. So, and that is something that's in a separate fund, but still something that general fund would ultimately be liable for. Now, we are working right now to close the gap for the next fiscal year, and things always change. Sometimes there's cities that like to forecast 10 years, 20 years, or sometimes even when they budget for, you have some cities that budget 2 years in advance. But I know we're a good city. We would like to budget 1 year in advance. We really like to see this. But this is more just so you see where our fund balance is if there's always changes with personnel or some cutbacks that we would have to do and some considerations in each year for the budget. But this is what it would look like as we start recalibrating and kind of looking at where the revenues and the expenditures are. But of course, everything is revenues. Even right now, there's a lot of uncertainties. But is there something specific?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it was general.
One of them is, how about the energy efficiency loans? It says by the year 2030, the total debt will be $14,522,000. That's for the solar panels that are currently up in this roof.
Yeah, that's what our loans were. Yeah, that's.
Do we know how much money we've been saving on that from Edison?
Every year it fluctuates a little bit, but I think we had. I don't think there was an analysis done, and really the savings would be, I think, more founded in a few more years. But right now, we're not seeing a current savings.
Yeah, it's just, we could have built a new fire station with that amount. But let's see. And then I think there was some liability regarding fallen trees. I think I saw somewhere on here.
Talking about general liability and workers' comp, the open claim liabilities.
Yeah. What are, or maybe this is a city manager's office, but what are we doing to make sure we're addressing the tree issue in our city, to make sure that we're cutting trees at a higher percentage, to trim more shorter, and to prevent future trees from falling on houses or cars? Maybe Roxanne could answer that.
You're asking more of from what the city is doing from more of an operations question. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. We have started those conversations, or we have those conversations again regarding the trim cycles and what we'll be doing moving forward. We will be briefing our acting city manager over the next couple of days so that some decisions can be made. But we are working with Public Works, with our current contractor, and then looking out towards the future and on what adjustments can be made. While there are financial implications to it, we'll keep close with the finance department in doing so, and we can report that back to the city council as well.
Right. And I'm sorry.
I was just about to add as well, as you remember, that the risk was also part of our state strategic plan. And so in that, we need to also hire our human resources risk management director and public works director to address those as well.
And then my last question will be, for the solar panels, is there any way to, I know we're obviously locked into a contract, but is there any way to save money off these interest rates, potentially refinancing or any other option we have here?
I mean, we could refinance, but with the interest rates right now, I mean, if you're giving me direction, I
was just wondering if there is there ways to figure that out?
I mean, if there's rates that are lower, then that's always a possibility.
Okay, great.
It just hasn't been looked at.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no other city council, any question? Okay, if not, okay, then I will go through with you regarding forecast. What I see the city since I lived the city since 1989, and I have been the city since as a city council since 2015. So I went through the physical this and this one you're talking about the financial forecast. It's a projection, right? It's for future what our income and our expenditure. And in 2020, when I was a mayor, and we have a $204 million non-fund liability we refinance for 25 years fixed. And they're saving about $5 million interest payment for the interest rate from 7.8% down to fixed rate 25 years for 3.7%. So at that, and we have a new retire. So basically we have a new retiree, and there's accumulate maybe $1 or $2 million. But the big one, the non-fund liability, that $206 million has been refinanced with a bond with interest rate 3.6 to 3.7% and fixed for 25 years. So that is you can budget that the major deficit that we are facing, but that is already reduced 50% of our interest payment. And then you're talking about expenditure, the expenditure regarding our each of department. Currently, we don't have a major expansion this and that, so the increase will be like every year. Okay, that 5%, 10% adjustment that's expectable. Now we're talking about the income. So we currently, West Covina is on the map with a lot of development come to the city. So meaning we have a Texas row house, okay, that is already ready to sign contract, and we sell the land for $3 million. I don't know that one will be in your our forecast. And plus, we are selling the CTR. That's a $29 to $35 million. Okay, that will come into general fund. Okay, and then we have heritage development for 12 acres of the school, the school is owned by the school, but the development will bring a lot of income and property tax to us. And plus, the north side, Faith Church, 22 acres. And then it's already doing the development, possible housing. And there's a major income and property tax to us. So have you put in that in your forecast of consideration and the income to us? Because that also thing will all will happen. And plus a possible $100 or $200 million development on our West Covina Plaza. I think you should know that it's going on right now. So that is going to bring major income to us. So I don't know your forecast based on what? Why you focus with that kind of deficit, it doesn't make any sense based on what just read it for you with those income. And plus, our property tax increased dramatically with all the property tax increase. And you go to our dealership, Toyota dealership become number 8, the highest selling the car. They are the biggest. Toyota currently is selling a lot of car, make a lot of sales tax for us. And plus all other dealers making great income, and there's property tax. So have you calculated all those projections? And plus, we're talking about the sales tax. Since we are 3,000 or 4,000, in the business, and that generate a lot of tax. You see, you go to see McIntyre Square, you go to see, the South Hill Square, you go to the SF Supermarket Square, you go to our West Covina Plaza. If full of people are shopping, you cannot even find parking. So you can see those is the income to us. So there's a forecast, a projection. People are feel confidence and shopping in West Covina. So what I'm saying is this. That is how you need to go into your projection, be more realistic to see what the city currently look like. And then expenditure, I did see the major expenditure, our major expenditure possible, that will be our fire station number 1. We're going to rebuild right in this corner, and that will be selling for our CTER. And those money, $20-30 million, come to us, and plus extra money, we're going to build a police fire training facility, and that's going to happen since we own land. So with that, I don't understand how that number coming up from you doesn't mean it's really detailed, is thinking about the income expenditure. So you have, I own business, I know finance, and I know what the city finance since I'm here for almost 10 years. So I went to budget many times. West Covina currently is very bright, especially currently you have a lot of income coming to us. You can just name it. People are buying our property like crazy, and people want to develop in our city. A lot of restaurants coming out to our city. We might have a couple of grand opening happening pretty soon. So I'm going to reject, your forecast. I think you should go back to based on what I gave you all the information to give us a more realistic forecast, rather than something just based on the computer and come up, we have this and that. It doesn't make too much sense for me to sit over here 10 years going through the 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 2018, that time, and we paying the 8% interest rate for CalPERS, and plus we paying only 3.7% fixed rate. And right now we cannot do refinance for anything because interest is too high. But go back to, Brian, and the council member talking about, I was there, approved the alliance of the solar panel. That's why we give loan for $3 million, and then the interest rate will basically offset with the saving we have from the LED, from all this panel. So it's supposed to be saving, and after 3 years we will pay off our $3 million. So nothing but saving for our Edison bill. So that is a saving. It's not a cost. Otherwise, why we do with solar panel? So I think you need to go back to really look into the number, because I've been here, all that number is some very bogus to me. Possible you get the wrong information. I'm not saying you guys trying to do something to spook us. But the thing is, you need to provide a forecast. It's based on the thing we are going on currently. And with all the development, it's already going on, and let the income come to us. Any other city council? Go ahead. Council member Gutierrez.
Yeah, when I look at the general fund summary by department, and if any of our residents want a copy, I'm sure Lisa or Roxanne could give you a copy of it. But so when I look at the general fund summary by department, it says community development got a $600,000 increase. You see finance with a $9,400 increase. You see the general revenue increase of $2.8 million. You see police, which is $1.1 million increase. You see public works with a subtraction from their budget of $83,900, which is concerning when our community needs cleaning. You have administration increase of $257,000. You have the city clerk's office taking a $267,000 cut, and I think they do a lot of work there. You have code enforcement with an increase of $62,000. You have community development with a $244,000, and so it goes on and on and on. So when we're balancing a budget, we don't increase money or take away money if we're going to become a deficit. We have to balance a budget that's going to put us fiscally responsible, fiscally able to operate our community as a whole. And this is obviously you're working very hard on that, Maria Melissa. So there's nothing against you. It's just I would like to see that we do a budget analysis like this that actually does not potentially purposely overdraft us when we typically are not even in that red area at all. So yeah.
You have a motion?
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to bring this back with an updated analysis. I will also like for the finance department to look at what Mayor Tony Wu stated about the solar panels, and we should be saving money on that. So maybe you could give us some information about how we're saving money and alternates to saving more money if it's possible, like refinancing and so forth. That's my motion.
Okay. Second, so basically we check this forecast and bring back more realistic what we just mentioned about. Okay, to get a number with much more realistic expenditure and more realistic about I just mentioned all this development already happening. Okay, and that should be our forecast. So in that way we can see we don't want to blow over the promotion. We have a lot of money, but at the same time we don't want to underpay. That we already have things going on, and you never calculate that thing, and so they, of course you're going to have an issue. So anyway, do any other city council want to say something? Okay, yes, go ahead, Councilman. Okay, Canto Aldi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just was wondering with with Maria Luisa, if there are with the different increases among others that Council Member Gutierrez was laying out, what is the rationale behind those specific increases? Just so we can have more context as to why those increases were put in.
So there were quite a bit of increases when it came to sales tax that actually increased a few million, and I have that in the long range, and that's what's helping a lot. Property taxes are largest source of income for the city of West Covina, and that also has a 3% increase. Sales tax is about 11% increase that I have over the last year's adopted budget. So those were, I wasn't conservative. I wasn't being conservative. But I wasn't hoping for the best. Of course, everything's uncertain when you're doing a 5-year, but you're trying your best with the assumptions that you do have. But I have those increases, and we've met with our consultants as well, and that's what we're seeing for the next fiscal year for the revenues. Now, I did want to also bring up, I know you mentioned the sale of land. That is like a one-time, that has not been included in the budget as a one-time or anywhere in there, just depending on when that actually does finalize. But mostly the focus for this is recurring revenues and expenditures.
So
thank you.
Okay, Council Member, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Councilmember Cantos brought up a great point. So maybe when you bring this back, you could tell us why you're raising those budgets for those different departments and what the funding is going to be used for, too. Yeah.
I am bringing the proposed budget on the next meeting, June 3rd. Okay. So at that time, that could be more specific for a 1 year, since we really do go into detail then. This forecast is not any different from what was approved last year as well, stating that we would be facing a deficit. And that was made aware to council last year.
Maybe we don't increase budgets for forecast years if we don't know.
I'm sorry?
Maybe we shouldn't be increasing budgets for term years out if we don't know the numbers yet, kind of thing. Like we shouldn't be on paper. We shouldn't be purposely putting us in the red when we're not even in the red, kind of thing. Is my concern.
Okay. You mean in prior years or just?
I think it's in general, either for this fiscal year, next fiscal year, or the years to come, 5-year forecasts. We shouldn't be forecasting purposely to put us in the red when we're not in the red. I mean, not that way, but like in general terms. Yeah.
Okay, you done?
Yes.
Okay, I want to follow up, okay, and other council, okay, I just want to emphasize again, okay, when we sell the land, it's not a one-time deal. We sell the land for developer. We're building hundreds of homes. Okay, currently we have no income because we own the land. So you cannot say it's a one-time deal. No, it's going to build 200 homes. Okay, and the city are going to build, I don't know how many hundred homes. That's property tax. 24% property tax come to us, 40% property come to us. That's additional recurring every year. And then Faithful Church, okay, that land go to the green lot, and then they might be go to, okay, housing too. That's 22 acre. Okay, so we're talking about, that's not a one-time deal. That is a lot of housing and property tax. So that is forecast, the projection. That's what you mentioned about. So that should be in your consideration. Okay, that is coming. Because when you budget the city, you have a 1-year plan, 2-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan. Because you have development going on. And development not happen overnight. They happen to CEQA, this and that. So your calculation is as long as this thing going on, then there's a future budget. Otherwise, if you go to this doesn't count, that doesn't count, then we will be always in the deficit because all those money you're not counting into your forecast. We're talking about the forecast. We're not talking about currently. We're talking about 5 years forecast. 5 years, the house built already. Look at the Benson home. Look at the Pioneer home. Look at the Cameron home. And all those homes create a lot of sales tax to us. And before we don't. Before it's a schoolyard. Schoolyard is non-profit. We get nothing at all. But now we go get property tax. So city, when the city, okay, develop, the city increasing the revenue. That's absolutely. So your budget, you should go in that consideration. Okay, of course, every year you have expenditure increase. But at the same time, with the population, with development, you have income coming in, with sales tax coming in, with property tax coming in, and with development coming in, with paying the fee and paying the permit fee and paying also what they have to pay to the city to develop. So anyway, that's why I want to let you to go back when you go to see, okay, and the consideration and give us a little bit more genuine, okay, a forecast, okay, and the good and bad, but doesn't matter, but have to go into the reality what current our city situation is. So anyway, I have a first and second. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, Maria Luisa, as you revise any budgetary projections, where will community input be factored in terms of providing the community a chance to say what they would like the spending to be on, as you also develop the budget and you make sure that our budget is done in a way that doesn't put us in the red?
This year was a little different. We did still have the budget survey that started in December, and it was live until May. We did get a little less than 30 responses, and so that has been incorporated, and we will be reporting.
Thank you,
Council, on that as well.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian.
One last thing. Usually during the budget years, when we're doing budgets, usually the city will have community meetings throughout the districts. Workshops. Do we know why that wasn't done? Or are they going to be done? Can we get it done, kind of thing? Still?
Well, there were a lot of moving parts and things that were on hold this year, or this budget year.
Okay.
So I think we have to recalibrate, right, as an executive team and see where we're going to go. But I think the idea would be that we would have to do it after, since we have to adopt the budget.
Okay, great.
But the budget survey would be the opportunity for residents to give feedback.
Okay, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Building upon Councilmember Gutierrez's thoughts with that, I realize that we're sort of under the gun, and this should have been done far earlier than now.
Agree.
But please try to find a way to have some sort of interaction with the community, because it's really important that it's their money, and so we really need to make sure.
And I agree. I agree with both of you.
Yeah.
And I was worried, and I was and anxious. Okay, why we don't have a budget workshop? And it should be done. Okay, or 2 times. And the list is very important. We need to put this. No matter people show up now, we need people. I think this is required by law. Okay, that we need to do all this budget. Okay, workshop and have a community input, and this is important. I agree with Councilman Kento regarding, okay, this is a taxpayers' money, and they need to input about where they go, this and that. And I think this is a requirement. City Manager, you want to say something?
If I may, through the chair, I do hear what your comments about the necessity of having a budget workshop, and then your comments about revisiting the financial report, the financial forecast. We can speak with the consultants that are acting
I don't even know we
finance
have
director.
a consultant.
Stephanie.
Who's the consultant?
The acting finance director alluded to consultants, so we'll
I
revisit
understand.
those
Who's our
consultants.
consultant? Huh?
HDL.
Oh, HDL. And Stephanie.
Like for the forecast? No.
No,
We don't even know.
budget.
Then, okay, see, we in the dark. We don't even know we have a consultant. I would think about it's a staff doing this thing. Why are we in the dark? We don't even know.
We'll revisit the forecast with the acting city manager and the consultant.
Can I amend my motion?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to add to my motion to also request that the finance department and the office of the city manager conduct community town halls, at least 3 in the community, and make sure they're marketed too.
And also, we want to, the city staff should be upfront with us. If they cannot do the job, if I hire a consultant, they should, let us know, which fund you hire, and so we're not in the dark. I would think that this is from you, or from your staff, but if this is from consultant, I don't even know we need consultant, we have a consultant. But anyway, and we have a first and we have a second, roll call, please.
The second.
I second.
So I have a motion by Councilmember Gutierrez and a second by Mayor Wu to reject the long-range forecast and bring it back with additional analysis, look at the solar panels, provide information on why the departments had a budget increase, and the finance department and city manager worked together to hold 3 town hall meetings.
Yes, and add on what I just mentioned, all the development, that should be in the forecast. And I don't understand why it's not included in the forecast at all. So anyway, this is what, amended. You okay with that?
Yes, yep.
So anyway, and everything all into the consideration. You have a projection increase, but you have projection income. And we have development already doing it. So that all should be in your forecast. So anyway, I think this is something, and yes, roll call, please.
Councilman Contos?
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado?
Aye.
Mayor Wu?
Aye, and approve 5-0. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And then we go to number 6.
That was number 6.
Oh, this is number 4. Now we go to number 6.
Yes. So
Number 6 is consideration of proposition of exchange, Full Hill Transit.
yes. So well, I want to thank the community for bringing this to our attention. Now I have questions. If we have $2 million in Prop A funds, which could be used to purchase new bus stops, a lot of our bus stops throughout our whole city are falling apart. They're in horrible condition. Mm-hmm. So why will we give up $2 million in return for $1.5 million? That makes no sense to me at all. Although I love Foothill, but it doesn't make sense to give up $2 million if our bus stops look ugly right now. It makes no sense. So maybe cities, I don't know if there's even an explanation for that, but
Yeah. Maybe you can share some light.
We're doing an exchange with Foothill Transit. This has come to council every year,
Right.
at least the last 5 years, but I know it's been 10 years. We have negotiated a 75% exchange. Now, I know there's other cities around that I've talked to, and also they're doing the same. This was incorporated into the budget, the adopted budget for this fiscal year, so we did anticipate this exchange with Foothill Transit. And I know there's other cities nearby, neighboring cities that also do this exchange. Now, is there a use for these funds that we could use? Yes, we have a lot. Well, we have local return funds that we could use. However, we have about, we get Measure M, Measure R, Prop C, that right now we have like a combined fund balance of over 16 million that we also need to use for bus stops, for transportation that we have available to use. However, if we don't use them within a certain amount of time, we run the risk.
How much do we have?
Over 16 million.
16?
16.
16?
Yeah, we restricted fund.
Not 60, but 16.
Why haven't we fixed our bus stops then?
Exactly.
I think Councilmember Campos asked for a missing bus stop.
Exactly.
And I think Chick-fil-A has no bus stop there at all. So it's like we have $16 million sitting in the account, but we're not using it.
Well,
I know it's not your fault.
presenting
I know
to
it's not your
you,
fault though.
not the operations,
when I
but
talk, it's in general terms, not
it's just
nothing
the
against you.
financials, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing against you. And when I talk, it's about general terms, and so it's concerning to me that we're not using the money that the taxpayers expect us to use the money for, and so that's my concern. Thank you.
Okay, and Mayor Pro Tem, please.
Thank you. So I wanted to know, it just as one of the resident mentioned about the going to other cities, the price, are we getting the best deal? I know you mentioned other cities are using it, but are there any other where the exchanges can go to besides Foothill Transit for this?
I mean, this was determined last year. I can look for next year, or I know I heard during public comment also the City of Hollywood. I could reach out to City of Hollywood, but not anything that I was made aware of.
Yes, I mean, I'd like to move that you reach out, and we would like to get the most bang for our dollar.
I do have it in the proposed budget that's coming in 2 weeks for it to also be an exchange and we're assuming at that exchange rate, but I can, before it comes forward, also give a call to City of Hollywood or any others.
And I'd like to also receive all what funding this could be used. I know we have restriction funds, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's only bus stops. I know a few years ago we've had them, clean out the bus stops. Because we didn't think we had that much money, and so I'd like to be presented what this is, what restrictions it's allowed to be used for. Yeah, I would like to see that list.
Okay.
And I want to add on what the council member just discussed about. And again, I don't want to say like, I've been here a while, but it's very common for the city to do this exchange into the general fund, because we need general fund. General fund is really tight.
No, I understand, but we want to get the most money.
Yeah. So I agree. If we can sell to other cities, they can offer us much higher, so we don't miss that. But it's normally 75%. They don't give you the full dollar. But we need that money into the general fund, okay? Because that is how we budget, because we have to pay 70-80% go to police and fire. And another 25% left go into the other staff, other program, this and that. So if we can get any money, okay, and transfer into the general fund, that has become a habit. I just want to share with you. I think you'll be with me.
Yeah, and I support this. I'm not in disagreement of this, but of course, like I said,
got it. Okay, I'm done with my. Okay, and Councilman Kento, please.
Thank you. I'd like to reiterate with Councilmember Gutierrez, why in the world would we give up $2 million for 1.5? I still don't understand that. I realize it's been done, but if we can have $2 million worth of spending, then we should keep $2 million worth of spending, because then that means that we spend $2 million as opposed to $1.5 million. So in a way, it's a net loss of $500,000. I mean, 25%, whatever. Even if there's negotiated another rate, why would we give up even $1? If we have $2 million, we should keep the $2 million to spend for what our community needs. So I'm just trying to understand why we do this. And I brought this up previously in the past, but it wasn't fully answered. So I'm just the new year, so ask again.
I understand. We do run the risk of also losing it, just like the other Measure R, Measure M, if it's not used during a period of availability. So that's something that we're also internally discussing in order for projects to move forward.
So I guess the deeper systemic question is, why would it take us so long to spend money that we already have that's available to us? Why wouldn't we spend the money?
Okay, go ahead. Mayor Pro Tem, you have a question?
No, I mean, in regards to this, I know because we are stuck with time, and if you can't use, I know when money is being restricted and it's just there,
right.
I'd rather put it to our general fund so that it could be more of a use.
Yes.
So I do support, again, bringing that out. But I agree. I understand all sides.
Okay, Councilwoman Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. I agree with Councilman Cantos. I wonder, why can't we just spend the money? I mean, if we know we need bus stops, is that something we can use it on?
Right.
I mean, if we can use
Yes.
I mean, why not use it? It just seems to me like it's been a habit. Status quo.
Yep.
That's not good, you know? We
Yeah.
can change that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think this need to go into the finance to see we can balance the budget. Okay, and the bigger $2 million for this, we only can restrict it to use. Okay, and that's why every year, okay, they all transfer into sell it to. They don't give you the full amount. They will give you a discount rate. Anything you sell in something, you would never get the full amount. But I agree with Mayor Pro Tem. Maybe we can look in other city, see if we can get most of value. But I think you need that money to spend into your budget. This is every year, and this 1.5 is always in our budget. Now, if we take out this 1.5, I think we possibly will have a deficit. I wouldn't want a deficit.
Yeah.
And that's too scary. Okay, so if you restrict that, you don't take over there, and then all the money go into the place you don't use it, and then we have so many hungry mouths, and then we will in trouble. So anyway, this is the issue. If we always every year budget is $1.5 million into our general fund, and that would be an issue if we want to keep this as a $2 million restricted, and then we might show over 1.5. Yeah, go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. How much do we receive yearly? And I understand the concept of use it or lose it. When does it expire? Do you have from what amount will be lost? I want to understand the full picture of what we receive, what is being out, what do we lose, what do we, just can you explain that, please?
We're estimating about a little over 2.7 million that we get, and it's been pretty consistent. Now, there are years when we don't exchange as much, thinking like that could be used, but we do, in order to balance the budget, sometimes like there was one year where we let the fund balance go, and then it's like, okay, well, we'll need to exchange it at this time. But pretty much it stays within selling about 1.5 million to 3 million.
But you said
that we receive about 2.8 million. That's what I have projected for the next year.
And then about expiring if we don't use it, is it a certain date? Is it a certain amount?
Yeah, as soon as we receive it, I will have to get back to you because there's different local measures, but I'll have to get back to you about Prop A.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, Council Member Gutierrez.
Yeah, so do you need this money for the general fund right now?
That is correct. It's incorporated into the.
And who negotiated the deal? Because we're losing $500,000. So can we get? Maybe we could give them $200,000, but not $500,000. So who negotiated these terms?
Kelly, is that you?
No. No.
Because as it's presented today, it's a horrible deal. So as much as I want to support the general fund,
want to make the motion to renegotiate?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to renegotiate. If we need this money, if you're telling us that we need this money for the general fund,
one more,
or we don't have enough money to just fund the general fund, if we don't do this deal, is that what you're saying? Do we need this deal? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, then. So I'll make a motion for you to renegotiate this deal at a higher. We want a higher intake. I don't think we're going to give Fort Hill extra $500,000 just because. So maybe negotiate a better deal with them.
Where's West Hollywood? Some other city?
Yeah, or another city too. Yeah, any options we have to make more back. I think that's an option, and I think that. Yeah, in regards, and also I want to add to the motion that the remaining $16 million, the $16 million that remains, that you bring back a presentation to this council by no later than the second meeting of June. Options we have to use those funds that Prop A was made for. So kind of like what my fellow council members stated, we want to know what the funds could be used for, and also and based upon that, we'll give further direction and how to use that funds next.
Okay, thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem, please.
So, I mean, I'd like to request that first thing tomorrow morning that you make that phone call to West Hollywood or Hollywood to see where they do their exchange and try to make that deal happen. And then, of course, in regards to Councilman Gutierrez, in regards.
Do I have a second?
I would like to say Foothill Transit is going to their board at the end of this month, pending on this approval. So things would get delayed.
But the executive board meets all the time, so Dorian could always bring it back.
Just information.
Yeah. Do we have a second?
Do I have a second? And we need to do this ASAP.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would like it done ASAP. I don't want to lose out on this.
We need a budget.
So make sure you call them tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm going to amend my motion to also add.
Need budget.
Councilwoman Letty Lopez Villado's request that you act on this right away, starting tomorrow.
And Councilman Kento.
So we're sort of, our back is against the wall, is basically, Maria Luisa, what you're saying at this juncture. So in the future, is there a way to not engage in this practice and to budget where we're not so close to a deadline where we could lose out?
Yeah. I mean, this could come earlier. However, what I noted when Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Villado said, looking into the future, because the proposed budget is coming to you, that's for 25-26, and kind of making that decision at that point for the next fiscal year. This was budgeted for, I guess, anticipated last year, and bringing this forward now. And this is part of the 24-25 budget. But if you'd like, I could, just moving forward, the proposed budget for 25-26 is coming to you in 2 weeks, or the next council meeting. At that point, I can highlight, because this has been a discussion of what Prop A and what's being proposed. Of course, after I talk to City of West Hollywood, see if there could be a different rate exchange, I can coordinate with that and give you that information. That's how early we do these exchanges. So we do a year beforehand, letting you know, okay, this is what we're going to exchange for 25-26. I could do a mid-year or something, every time like there's a budget, and let you know this is what the exchange rate, we got a better exchange rate, or have that communication, or if there's a different proposal.
Okay, and the question will be, so with the $2 million, so basically $2 million annually, so can they be accumulated? We didn't use it, we can go continue. But I know for past 10 years, we always budget into general fund, and we're selling a lot of this restricted fund into our general fund, so we can balance the budget. Then it's been a habit, okay, and this we've been approving for all the time. I think all the council all share, we approve this from time to time, and the exchange for this into it. But it's true, okay, it's that they only offer 75%, 25% discount, and can they give us a little bit more? But again, like we kind of late in the game, so kind of we don't want to miss any other deficit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to clarify that your comment about we're on a deadline, because I serve on the Fort Hill Joint Powers Board, obviously because of the council. My only concern is you're saying that it'll go to the next meeting. That's because Dorian was expecting us to vote on this today, but Dorian could always bring it to the executive committee the following meeting.
Of course, like we do here.
Yeah, so So therefore, we're not on a time crunch, right? Because Doran can put it on the next executive meeting. Not necessary.
Could always, yes.
Yeah.
You can always change.
I just want an opportunity for you to be able to talk to Doran and say, can we renegotiate this deal? And then while you're doing that, contact Long Beach Transit, contact West LA, contact these other transits or Metro, and see if they're willing to buy it in a fast pace too. So
that is correct. The timing is important, though, for the fiscal year that I'm accruing it for. Okay. So if I am going to,
so maybe you try to see if you could ask these other entities if they're able to process it that fast, if they offer us a better rate. If not, then just tell Foothill, can you give us a better deal? And I'm sure Doran will figure out a way to at least give us something back and more.
Okay, Councilman Kento.
Thank you. Maria Luisa, so from a budgetary standpoint, let's just say we don't do this, just so I can understand this process. So if we don't do this, if we don't sell our $2 million and we spend money, then by spending for things that are under Proposition A, wouldn't that mean that we would then not have to draw from general funds for other things? In other words, wouldn't we still get more bang for our buck by keeping the $2 million, and then because of what we spend with the $16 million or whatever the number is, that actually has somewhere else a net effect of our not having to spend out of the general fund that otherwise we would have to spend? So in other words, it's sort of moving things around that where we could still have the full impact of keeping the $2 million without losing our spending power is what I'm trying to ask.
General fund money typically doesn't fund transportation streets because we have enough funding, like I said, in all the other local return funds that we have, like Measure R, Measure M, TDA, Proposition C. So we use those funds. So those are already, appropriated and secluded for those funds. So general fund is used for, anything we want to use and what we've budgeted for.
So Proposition A money, could that also be used for road improving our pavement condition index, our PCI, as an example?
I know bus stops are there's other certain transportation guidelines that I'd have to go through, and I will provide to you. You said specifically streets.
Yes.
Let's say restricted fund.
We do have a different one. Gas tax does. Yeah.
Gas tax.
There's gas tax for that.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm thinking that if there's a way to use, just thinking out loud, if we were to use all $2 million for something, and it would be for our roads in some other way, then we would be maximize the spending power without having to give up 1 cent of that $2 million to anyone, no matter what we renegotiate, is what I'm trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of compounds.
Mayor Poten, you want to go speak?
Yes. Quick question. Does Foothill Transit have a tier system of exchange rate versus you get a higher dollar if you go by the millions versus the thousands? Is it just one fixed rate?
No. Yeah.
Okay. But you're able to negotiate that though, right?
The direction is to negotiate. I would like clarity if it's for the next year or if it's this year.
This year you already spent it. You already spent the 1.5?
It's in the adopted budget.
Yeah,
so yes.
Yeah, and that's fine because if once we use this, the total budget will still remain at 16 million because we'll be receiving another 2.7 million that would come in. So we don't really see that big of a loss on the Prop A. Just wanting to double check. I know Prop A applies to all transits and stuff. When we utilize all these shuttling and everything to our 4th of July, which is coming up, we are utilizing these funds, correct? I hope so.
Shuttling. Yeah.
Okay. So all shuttles, when we provide to all the residents, is utilizing these funds.
Correct. City Manager, you want to know the shuttle, the go west, because we have transferred people July.
Yeah, just like Kelly McDonald had said, the assistant to the city manager, yes, we do use Prop A funding for that because that is an eligible expense.
But the firework, everything there is the general fund.
Community Services Foundation.
Correct. Yeah, West Covina Foundation. Okay, and so we have a motion.
So I need to clarify. So are you saying you have time or you don't have time to renegotiate this for Foothill? I'm assuming in between now and that meeting, you could renegotiate with Foothill if they wanted to, right?
We have time.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, if you are saying, I was going to look into.
I don't think we have time potentially for the other transit locations because it's complicated. But I think with Foothill, you have time to say, Doran, can you give us a better rate? And
I would have to do that for next month, definitely.
Yeah.
I do have the proposed and the adopted budget to come forward next month as well, and bringing that forward. But yeah.
So can I make a motion that?
Hold on. I want to add on this, what you say. I want to say this, is every city or every entity is like us. It's not going to be quick.
Yeah. So
you need a meeting, this and that. It's not like the business. Okay, I call you. Could you give me a break? And they say okay, and done.
So I think
this one you need a board member.
To focus on Foothill. Yeah.
Yeah. This one you need a board member. You need to go to check, and then they maybe rejected this complication like us. So it's not. I don't think this will be overnight.
I think the only one who could potentially do is
we have a time that because this is a budget issue.
Yeah.
And every year we do this budget for 1.5, and we never say anything. And suddenly now we have an issue, and now we already budget this 1.5 into our spending. So if we don't do it, we might have a deficit with 1.5. So this is the thing. So go ahead, Mayor Protem.
I was just kind of quickly looking. There's summary exchange rates. So, like the year 2021, 2020, or Bradbury 2025, was Covina, Diamond Bar, San Gabriel, Temple City, Bradbury. They exchanged it at 75 cents for the dollar. West Hollywood with Lakewood. West Hollywood has engaged in exchanges with the city of Lakewood, purchasing $2 million in Prop A funds for $1.4 million general funds, resulting in a 70 cents per dollar rate. But I mean, please, clarify and get that corrected to see if it's. But and then just some usage here.
I think it's the industry standard.
Yeah, it seems they
don't give you the face value.
Standard.
And no matter how you negotiate, they're not going to pay us one time more based on the regulation and what their board approve. I think 75 or below 70 is
typically around 75.
Because they don't give you the face value, even we want to save them happy.
Yeah.
We would like confirmation, definitely.
Go ahead.
I have a question for the city attorney. For attachment number 1 for item number 6. Can I make a motion to approve it, but leave blank the exchange rate so Maria Luisa has time to call Foothill and see if they could internally change it in between, and if not, then or how can that work?
Mr. Mayor, that's a material number that I would not advise you of approving a contract with that with not there. So
okay, so how
I don't know the timing of this. Maybe this could be brought back. If you're not going to approve this agreement tonight, I understand this is for this fiscal year. So if you're not going to do it tonight, you should probably bring it back at the very next meeting. Is that correct, Maria Luisa?
Do we have time to bring it back? Okay, I just don't want to damage our budget. I doubt it. Okay, because it's a common industry practice, 75 of the face value. If you want to exchange, and you just keep bring the line, it's 70, 75. Nobody go to 80%. And then do we want to risk this thing?
Yeah.
And try to waste the time.
So I'll make a motion to approve. So I'll make a motion to approve item number 6, consideration of Proposition A, exchange for Foothill Transit, because it seems like we're out of time. I'll make a motion to approve. In addition to that, I would like to make sure that we use the remaining $16 million. You bring back to this council separately. You bring back to this council options on how to use that Prop A money, including remodeling and redoing bus stops throughout the city of West Covina.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, and you guys want to say anything?
Those are two separate things. I
Go ahead.
half of it. So how does that work?
And which one you support?
I support the second.
Okay, you don't support the.
Yeah, with getting back.
You can
separate it.
Then you can say they can say no.
Okay.
Then you can bring because this one is combined together.
Okay.
So you can say no.
Okay,
It's
thank
fine.
you.
Okay, and so roll call, please. So we have approved Okay, this is 1.5 to go into general fund. Like every year we done this all the time. Okay, and maybe next year you can prepare this earlier. See, we can. I doubt it. Okay, if we need this and that. So roll call, please.
Thank you. To clarify, I have a motion by Councilmember Gutierrez, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado to
approve.
Thank you. To approve the item number 6, and then also to negotiate for next year moving forward, and to bring back a presentation on what the $16 million Prop A money can be used for. Councilman Contos?
No to the first half.
So it's a no.
No, it's a no.
Thank you.
Record, just.
Councilwoman Diaz?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado?
Aye.
Mayor Wu?
Aye.
Item passes 4-1.
Yeah. Thank you, Luisa. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Okay, and let's move on to the public hearing. Consideration of prioritize for the development of the draft program of the CDBG fund. Who's going to present this?
Mayor, with us this evening, we have Assistant to the City Manager, Kelly McDonald, who will be giving the presentation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening. This hearing concerns the program year 2025-2029 Community Development Block Grant CDBG Consolidated Plan. The city receives an annual grant of CDBG funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the CDBG program works to ensure decent, affordable housing, provide services to the most vulnerable in the community, and to create jobs through the expansion and retention of businesses. As a recipient of the funds, the city is required to prepare a consolidated plan which covers a 5-year period and serves as a strategic document and guides the intended use of grant funds. Sorry.
Mayor, if I may, we need you to open the public hearing officially.
Okay. Let me read this. At this time, I shall open the public hearing on the development of the draft program years 2025 to 2029 CDBG consideration plan. Okay, and there will be consolidated plan. Okay, and there will first be the presentation of the staff report, and then we shall hear comment from the public. Okay, and the city manager. Okay, I think Kelly already present his CDBG fund. Okay, you want to continue?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Thank you. In recent years, the city has used CDBG funds for such activities as the Domestic Violence Victim Advocate and the Police Department, the Senior Meals Program, the Business Assistance Loan Program, the Housing Preservation Program, public infrastructure improvements, and public services such as food banks, Meals on Wheels, and homeless services. This is the first of 2 required public hearings. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to provide an opportunity for the public to comment on the needs of the community on which the consolidated plan will be based. The council is also asked to prioritize the community needs. For this purpose, priority level does not refer to relative importance, but as to whether or not CDBG funds will be used to address the need. If CDBG funds will be used, that would be considered a high priority. If they may be used, that's a medium priority. And if they will not be used, that would be considered a low priority. Table 1 shows the prioritization of needs from the prior cycle. There are 8 categories of need, which are more fully described in Attachment 1. Economic development, homelessness, infrastructure improvements, owner-occupied housing, public facilities, and rental housing were prioritized as high, and public services and non-homeless special needs were prioritized as medium. The needs and priority levels may be amended tonight or at any time given proper notice. The staff recommendation is for this prioritization to remain status quo. This is because, as stated in the report, that the funding was anticipated to be flat. And in fact, last week HUD posted its allocations, and we're expecting just under $820,000, which is relatively flat. The next couple of slides are included as Attachment 1, and they are maps for reference. This is because most of the funding is generally directed toward public facility or public infrastructure improvements. And the eligibility of such improvements is generally made on an area basis. That is, a service area is established, and their related census data is evaluated, and if the area meets HUD's criteria for income, this is a good first step in qualifying an activity. The map you see here is a map of eligible census block groups with shaded areas indicating those meeting the threshold. There are other considerations, such as the area being primarily residential, but initially qualifying the area based on income criteria is often the biggest challenge. This next slide shows the median household income, and that's fairly consistent with the prior maps. I'll move on. Finally, I have the map of the park districts, and the reason I show this is for purpose of CDBG eligibility of parks. The city has historically used its park districts as service areas for the parks located within them. Based on the current census data, only Park Districts A and Park District H are area eligible at this time. And that would be like Del Norte Park and Friendship Park. We do already have an approved project over at Friendship that is in design currently. And finally, an online survey was used to broaden the opportunity for public input. The survey was promoted through Discover in the city webpage and has been live since December. 60 responses were received, and those responses are included as attachment 3. Eligible activities most strongly supported are streets and road improvements, tree planting, bike and walking paths, sidewalk improvements, owner-occupied housing rehab, ADA improvements, park and recreational facilities, community centers, and neighborhood crime prevention programs. The City Council has the following options: to approve the recommendation or provide alternative direction. With the approval of this item, staff will begin to draft the consolidated plan, as well as a process of evaluating public service proposals and potential capital projects against the approved prioritization. Once a draft is finalized, it'll be made available for a 30-day public review as required by HUD. Then it'll be presented along with proposed activities and funding recommendations to the City Council for consideration in a second public hearing. Notice for this hearing was published on May 9th, and no comments have been received. There's no fiscal impact related or resulting from this report, so it's recommended that the City Council direct staff to draft a program year 2025-2029 consolidated plan based on the needs and priorities detailed in Table 1 of the report. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Any council have a question? You have a question for the CDBG fund? Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, my only question will be for street repairs. A lot of our streets need major improvements. Is a lot of that money going to be used for that?
That's what I'm recommending.
Yeah. Okay.
We're looking at looking at the pavement management plan. There's a project that's intended for 26-27 that is north of the freeway to the western boundary, and that we're looking at, like that the Park District A, for lack of my better description. But that's what I'm advocating. Because those typically move forward fairly quickly. I've already qualified that area as being eligible, and so that's what I'd like to see.
Okay.
I'm recommending.
Okay. Then any other question? If not, I'm going to open up the public comment. Okay. Any people want to speak to this item?
No, Mayor, and for the record, I'd like to verify that the notice was properly advertised for this meeting.
So proper notification has been issued.
Yes, proper
notice.
Notice of verification has been.
It's not on the script.
It is.
My memory.
It is on the script.
Oh my. So anyway, so for now, I'm going to close the public comment. Then we come back to the City Council discussion. Or do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the consideration of priorities for the development of a draft program year PA 2025 to 2029 Community Development Block Grant.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Motion by Councilmember Gutierrez, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Beato. Councilman Contos?
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz?
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Beato?
Aye.
Mayor Wu?
I approve 5-0. Then we go to the last item, update on the Go West Covina. Okay, and who will present the staff report?
Mayor, we actually have representation from our consultants here, so they're going to come on up and provide you with the report this evening.
Hi, I'd like to.
Thank you for waiting.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's an honor to wait, and it's an honor to be here. Kelly.
Sorry, Alex. I'd like to, just give a little bit of background and introduce you. Thank you. This item is an update on the Go West Covina service. It's the city's one-year grant-supported microtransit pilot project. And, as part of a recent evaluation of the city's transit program with goals to improve service as well as increase ridership, the implementation of a microtransit service was considered as an option to either partially or fully replace the fixed route service. Some of the features of a microtransit, I keep saying microtransit model include the routing that's flexible and dynamic rather than fixed. It's technology enabled so that it performs real-time routing that results in efficient travel and minimized wait times for the riders. The rides are shared. The rides are booked by the riders using a mobile phone app or calling into a call center, and the pickups and drop-offs are corner to corner. In early 2023, the city learned of a grant opportunity through LA Metro called the Visionary Seed Fund, which would fund 6 innovative projects in the grant cycle in researching microtransit programs staff connected with VIA Transportation. And VIA and the city worked collaboratively to develop and submit a grant proposal to the program for the Go West Covina one-year pilot project. The proposal was successful, and the city was awarded 60% of the $1.1 million project cost will be funded by the grant, and 40% is considered the match from the city. And the city was able to convince Metro that we would use some of our transit funds, our Measure M transit funds, so there's no general fund impact resulting from this project. After some pre-development last fall, the Go West Covina program launched November 18, 2024. It's been well received and successful, as you'll see in a moment. And at this point, I'd like to introduce Alex Batisi and Joe Martin, who are here from VIA to provide a presentation on service to date.
Thank you, Kelly. And is a clicker wishful thinking, or do I just...
It's wishful thinking. Just next
worries.
Slide. Your finger.
I can do that. Well, Mr. Mayor, council members, members of the community, it's a pleasure to be here. I don't live in West Covina. I live over in West LA, but I have the great pleasure of visiting and working with your city regularly as it relates to Go West Covina. And I'm excited here to post you all on the incredible progress that we've made since we launched this pilot about mid-November of last year. So next slide. Really quickly, you've met me and Joe now, but I also want to call out that there are many members of my company, which is VIA, behind the scenes that are heavily involved in the day-to-day operations and long-term consultative work as it relates to Go West Covina. Someone referenced us as consultants as I was walking up, but I want to also call out that VIA is the true tech provider and also the operator of the Go West Covina service. And Go West Covina is one of more than 800 similar services around the globe. We operate in more than 40 countries, and we have served over 165 million rides. And Southern California is a hotbed of those services. We have 200 team members here in California. We have 80 major public transit agencies, cities, universities, corporations that leverage our services. And importantly, we these services, we are the software provider, we are the operator. They can be microtransit, they can be fixed route, it can be dial-a-ride programs, or combinations of these. And so really quickly, this is kind of the bulk of the presentation. I want to talk about some of the successes that Go West Covina has seen to date. So just to brief you really quickly, Kelly introduced this, but I just want to give you some stats as it relates to this program. So it is a grant-funded program. It's a pilot for 1 year. It is a $0 fare for the rider. It operates 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. We have 5 Go West Covina branded vehicles in the service. And here's a map of the service zone, which is a subsect of the broader West Covina city border. And if you can go to the next one, it is intelligently designed to incorporate as many of your community's key points of interest as possible so that riders can get where they need to go. Interestingly, we also have expanded this to include connection to other modalities of public transit that can get riders and residents of your city in and out of downtown Los Angeles. Go West Covina has seen rapid adoption from the community with consistent growth since launch. So by the end of April, we had 449 active riders on the app and more than 7,000 completed rides. But we are on track for a record May. At current rates, we're expecting to see somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,700 completed rides in this month, and we have already surpassed 500 active riders. So we're incredibly encouraged by the growth to date. And as you all know, we used to have a red and blue line bus here in West Covina. We deprecated that sometime in, I think it was February. Really excitingly, we saw that ridership be adopted by the Go West Covina microtransit program before those fixed routes were even deprecated. And since then, we have seen a 270% increase in ridership related to what those two deprecated fixed routes saw. And really importantly, we have seen a 61% decrease in the cost per ride relative to those deprecated routes. And what's exciting is that the more riders we get, the more that cost per ride savings will grow. So we're incredibly encouraged by the numbers here. Importantly, the city has responded well, and your residents have given us incredible and very overwhelmingly positive feedback related to the service. We have a 4.8 out of 5 average ride rating. We have a 4.9 out of 5 Apple App Store rating, and the feedback we get is specific to the riders. It's specific to the efficiency, the cleanliness of the service, and so we are incredibly encouraged by what your residents are saying. And ridership growth doesn't just happen. We get heavily involved with this. And so we have many teams that have been dedicated to growing ridership and getting the word out. We've been working in partnership with Kelly and his office. And our community engagement efforts to date have included social media and paid ad campaigns. We got some Streets Blog media coverage, which was assisted by my company's PR team. And we've also had the opportunity to table at a handful of events. I was lucky to attend the West Covina tree lighting ceremony, so I'm very familiar with this building and its parking lot. But we have also attended the Cortez Park Community and Senior Center, Merrill Gardens, and much more than that. And we'll continue to do so and get the word out. That is some of the highlights of the success we've seen to date, but a good service doesn't mean that we can't see a great service. And so just to give you a little flavor of the work that we're doing with the city manager's office to date and some of the things coming down the pike, we've identified some other opportunities for increased efficiency in the world of commingling. So commingling, we define it as when multiple services, so say microtransit, fixed route, dial-a-ride, some combo, all exist within a single app so that riders can use one app for multiple services and very often exist with one provider. So instead of having one app, one provider for each of your services, one service might be able to operate multiple. And that improves the rider experience with a consistent, easy way to book. We have highly trained drivers across multiple services. They're able to drive for both microtransit and dial-a-ride as an example. And importantly, internally at with the city, you get increased visibility through a single tech and operations platform, unified data and reporting, and so there's efficiencies there. Our consulting team, which your city contracted as part of this pilot, has looked at commingling specifically your dial-a-ride service with our microtransit service. And I can double click on this. I know I only have 5 minutes, so stop me whenever. But importantly, 5,000 of your 2024 dial-a-ride rides existed in what is now the Go West Covina microtransit zone. So what that means is that those rides could have been served jointly with the microtransit service. You could have had multiple members of your community utilizing multiple services in a single vehicle. Our team has estimated that commingling these could save $115,000 a year moving forward just on combining these two services alone. And so the last slide, just to give you a little bit more numbers related to that, we could estimate a 40% decrease in the annual dial-a-ride hours. The dollars saved from these hours can be put towards frankly, whatever. They could be put towards whichever of your transit services you need. But we estimate that shifting these saved hours to the microtransit service could see an increase in 87% increase in daily ridership across both these services. And then just as a really quick case study, I'm not speaking in hypothetics here. We do this with other cities. Very recently, the city of Sarasota, Florida, had us do exactly this. We commingled their dial-a-ride and their microtransit service, and we saw 700,000 savings in the first year. So we're incredibly excited by that. We have experience in operating multiples of these services. The one thing I wanted to plug is that not only do we operate in Southern California, but we are no strangers to the SGV specifically, and we just found out that we won operations and software for both dial-a-ride and microtransit at your neighboring Rosemead. So we're very excited about that. The only other thing I'll say really quickly as I wrap up is that if any of the council members or the mayor would like to double click on any of this or learn more about the service, please reach out to me via Kelly. I'll come out here, we'll get a coffee, we'll get on a phone, I'll answer any questions you have, but I think that's my time and then some. So thank you.
Okay, and any council member have a question? Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
Well, I'm just pleased and very happy to hear that the city of West Covina offers a variety of transportation services within the last 2-3 years that I've been here, giving the residents many options to continue to eat, shop, play within our city. So thank you for that. Question on this, what's the ages? Is this only for seniors or is it all ages?
The microtransit program is designed to be for all ages. I believe the dial-a-ride that you run is 55. Correct.
I think the age limit to ride alone is 13.
Oh, yes.
It's 13 and over, but anybody traveling within the service area can use the service. You don't have to be a West Covina resident. And we, as Alex alluded to, we also connect to the train stations in Baldwin Park and Covina.
So does this pick you up from home or is this at the bus stops? I just wanted to understand that, the service that is being provided. I know we do connections, but where do they pick up? Where do they drop off? You only showed me 5 based on the presentation that there was only.
Oh, yeah. So
5.
So I should call out. So the points of interest that we labeled are just parts of these are just institutions in your community that we see a lot of ridership at. Ridership is not limited to those points of interest. It's a corner-to-corner service, which means that unlike Uber, if I'm picking myself up from my address, the car comes right out to my driveway. Corner-to-corner means that perhaps I'm walking, like the name implies, to the corner instead. So that allows us to be a little bit more efficient. We're not pulling down every single side street, but it is still tailored towards the ride request that you put in. We're getting towards you. It's designed that it's always a walkable distance. We're not making individuals walk half a mile, perhaps the way they might for a bus stop. So you could think of corner to corner. I'm oversimplifying it, but maybe between walking to the bus that, a few streets over and an Uber that comes directly to your door.
Well, when you say corner to corner, are you saying like corner to corner major streets? Because as you continue with every city, there's corners every block of the way. So that's considered a corner.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And so when we design the service zone, we have what's called virtual bus stops, which is exactly what it sounds like. And those are placed on corners throughout the entirety of the city. So it is, I don't want to say it's every single intersection, every single corner of the city, but it's closer to that than not.
So on the app, it shows which virtual bus stop. And then those areas don't necessarily have any posting or signs that is picked up there and then when they do pick up, which corner do they have to
be at? Totally. So if I opened the app today and requested a ride, I would be met with a ride proposal. It would show me my driver, the estimated time if I accepted. It would then give me my custom for this ride where I need to go. So if I'm at the middle of Maple Street and maybe it's Maple and Main on the corner, it'll tell me explicitly, walk west towards the end of Maple Street and wait at the corner of Maple and Main for Joe to come pick me up in 30 minutes.
And you can see, just similar to Uber, you can actually see how close it comes in. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Any other city Councilman Canto?
Hi, Alex. Hi there. So in the distant past, I remember calling for a dial ride and we'd have to wait almost a week, like 6 days or something. I haven't used it for a long time. So how is it now? Let's say just by not using the app, but let's say for anybody who calls, do you still have to call several days in advance, or how does it work now compared to before?
So I'll yield to Kelly on the update with the dial-a-ride service because my company doesn't yet operate or involved in that. We are just Go West Covina.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, thank you.
Right, that's correct. The MV takes the dial-a-ride reservations. They start taking them a week out. If they can accommodate you the same day or within that window, they do. But that's generally the window.
Oh, but this is more with microtransit. Okay,
correct.
Thank you.
Whereas this service is on demand. And to get back to the corner-to-corner thing, when folks sign up for it, if there's an accessibility issue, if they're on crutches or a wheelchair, we do have a wheelchair accessible vehicle. But if they specify that there's an accessibility issue, they will go point to point. Is that correct, Alex?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Council. Okay, and Mayor Putin?
To follow up, similar to Councilman Cantos's question on this, how long is normally the wait? You can process same-day service and...
Absolutely. Our service is on demand. Now, we have other services elsewhere that are more like the dial-a-ride that's been described, where maybe you're making these pre-booked rides days in advance. But with the Go West Covina, it's an on-demand service. We're out of service hours now, but a few hours ago, you would have been able to open it up and you would have been able to call a ride, and it could have been here in as short as 15, 20 minutes, depending on how subscribed the service is. If it's, as you can imagine, commuting hours, it might be more of a busy time. You might have to wait up to 30, 45 minutes. But yes.
Okay, so the shortest 15 minutes, the longest 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's a fair range, I would say.
You can come.
We won't be able to hear. The residents that are listening in are not able to.
Yeah, you had to come.
So you'd have to.
We only waited 5 minutes the other day. We took it to lunch.
It could be as low as 5
You're on the mic.
It could be as low as 5 minutes. The average, I think, has been around 15 minutes for this service. So
much better than 45.
Yeah, that could be like if it's peak hour commuting time, like, and everyone is trying to take the service. But as Kelly just called out, it could be as low as 5 minutes to get a ride.
And this is direct to the location, or do you have to transfer?
So again, it's the corner-to-corner system, but practically speaking, you can call it from your house to the Trader Joe's, and it won't drop you off at the front door necessarily unless you are wave eligible, in which case it will. It'll be door-to-door in that case. But it will give you specific instructions. Maybe it's at the corner, right outside the parking lot, and you're at your destination, but it's not necessarily as tailored door to door as maybe an Uber or a taxi services.
And anywhere within that zone, though, you can go in one single trip. You're not forced to make a connection. So as long as you're within that map that Alex showed earlier, you are able to take a single trip to that destination.
And the ridership, has our seniors been also taking advantage of this? Because technology is a little hard. Okay.
It is, but there's a call-in center as well, so you can actually talk to somebody between the operating hours of 7.
I think we have one who's going to be utilizing it.
All right, great.
Poor husband.
Public comment. Wow.
Well, how are you going to get back, though?
As short as 3 minutes.
Mr. G, Mr. G, come over here.
Mr. G, build the case.
Public comment.
I swear I've never met this man before.
We're going to put you on their website.
Can you repeat that, Mr. G?
As I said last week, I want to thank whoever came up with this because I am a disabled senior citizen. I look good. And sincerely, I have spinal cancer, so I get door to door because I've asked for it. I have been in people where they have taken somebody who is a paraplegic from the senior center and taken them to their house. And like I said, I literally waited only 3 minutes.
That's good.
And one time, or a couple times, because so many of the high school kids are like this and they don't want to even walk from here to there. I get stuck in the loop, and it might take 45 minutes. But that's a rare case. Most of the time, it's within 5 to 15 minutes max. Usually around, I'd say on the average,
Very good.
I've waited only 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. G.
I just so excited
We're
about
going to have to put you on their website.
I think
right.
I think you guys need to pay him for the commercial time.
I wish you charged for the service so I could give him some free rides. But
And and any other city council have any other question? Okay, you have a question? Yeah, go ahead, Councilwoman Dia.
I have a question. I just downloaded the app and I want to see how it worked. So if I downloaded it, if I'm going to request a ride and I'm going to bring my husband with me, do we have to have a separate account?
you have the option to add a +1.
Bring all 5 friends with me?
5. We might be pushing it with 5.
Okay.
You do get +1s. And also importantly, it was mentioned earlier, Kelly called out accurately that you have to be 13 to ride alone and download the app. But a mother and her child, she can add, a 3-year-old as a +1. There's no issue there, of course.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Any other city council? Council member?
Yeah, maybe can your PR team create a flyer or some sort that you could send to Cali digitally that talks something that we could give to our local schools that talks about the
100%.
age limit. Obviously, you guys are doing background checks and the safety and all that stuff that we can give to our local schools.
We can absolutely get you some marketing comms that's specific to schools. But I do just want to call out that our community engagement team, a colleague of mine that's based up in Sacramento, was down here a few weeks ago. Tabling at some of these centers that we mentioned, we made a very specific and concerted effort to get to senior centers and get to that population, especially because tech can be a little bit higher touch. We wanted to be in person for those learning moments. But more than that, I have a list of a dozen different institutions that we've dropped off pamphlets like that at. But I will sync with Kelly after that. We will absolutely get some schools-specific marketing comms.
Perfect.
Push that out. 100%.
Okay, any other city council? Okay, everything okay? And I have a quick, no, not yet. I have a quick question. Okay, because I went to the bathroom and come back, you're already done. So I want to.
You don't give me much time.
Yeah, I know. I take forever. Okay. So my question will be, this is a shared ride, right?
The intention is that it is a shared ride. You're not guaranteed, depending on what time you call a ride.
It's okay.
Might not be.
Okay, we don't want to just one person. Okay, maybe you can pick up here, there, on the way. So what is the maximum rider inside your van?
So we operate, I think, exclusively Toyota Siennas.
Toyota Siennas, yeah. So
It's 7 seat. It's 7 seat.
Well, so they're some of them are wave compatible, so it's a little bit less for that. It might be closer to
because my wife has a Sienna. It's 7 seat. Yeah, the middle seat would be 8 seat.
Yeah.
3 in the back,
5,
2
6.
and the 2.
Yeah.
So 7 seat. Okay, so yeah, Sienna is a good car. Okay, and so it's a shared ride and only inside West Covina.
Exactly. However, we, as I showed with the zone boundary earlier, you saw 2 odd little islands outside the zone to the top. That's specifically so that your residents, the service is designed to keep them within West Covina to an extent, but we also have those islands to connect them to light rail to get in and out of the city. So
correct,
you have that
because
multimodal transit.
Because, for example, we have some senior, they want to have a ride to the Metro Link or the Go Line, and it's out of city boundary. So how we entertain that situation?
So we did build that. So we have 2 islands. I'd have to look at the map to see exactly which Metrolink stops they are, but the 2 nearest that aren't technically in the West Covina city boundary, we did include it. So even though it's like an island atop the zone, you can still call to those. Exactly. So yeah.
Baldwin Park and Covina.
Yeah.
The Metrolink stations.
So another question, because a lot of West Covina residents live on the border. So if they want to go to the next adjacent city, like for example, Warner, to go to the IKEA, the supermarket. Aldi, thank you. Okay, man, I'm a senior at the time. Okay, Aldi. Okay, if they want to go to Warner, Aldi, because West Covina doesn't have Aldi. So can they go? They cannot, right? Even they live on the border.
Not at present, no. We do keep the zone boundary to the city.
Well, it's actually about half of the city. So the northern portion.
So only the northern portion. When are we going to provide it to south side?
They went those.
We're taking a look at it. This is a pilot program that
Got it. It's a
we
pilot
established
program.
this service area for the grant.
This pilot program, how long is last? Are we
We started in November. We're about on track to go through November. We might have funding to extend beyond that. But, through
and
the end of the year.
how much for a ride for people to order their service?
There's currently no fare.
Free for now.
It's free.
$0. Free. I know.
Ollie, I'm not going to take you home. You use it. I'll be driving you home. Okay, my gas.
We need to end by 7.
So yeah, I'm trying to make it fast.
Or it stops at
So it's a free,
Or it stops at 7.
and then so the budget on no side, and this pay from our restricted fund, right? And our gas tax money.
That's correct. 60% is funded by the grant. 40% is from local returns, the restricted funds for transportation.
Restricted fund. So what is the budget for that? Even this is a fund restricted fund. So currently, we are going to pilot program in the north side in this boundary. What is current budget to pay them?
The total project cost was $1.1 million.
For how long?
For the year.
For one whole year, only the north side. Okay, but if we add the south side, it's going to increase.
Yep, right.
Yeah, so we have to see, but we want to treat everybody equally.
Right.
Yeah.
We did keep the green line in the southern portion, and the challenge I think is that the ridership largely comes from the students at Nogales.
Correct.
And it might be might overwhelm the vehicles. I mean, because it's the morning and afternoon, you maybe have 20 people get onto a ride.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to say quickly that our intention with microtransit is never to compete with other forms of public transit. And so that's actually why this zone was designed the way that it was. As you all well know, the red and blue lines were severely underutilized. The green line that goes to the south, not the case. So we felt that portion of the city, their transit needs were being met by fixed route, and that's why it's only a subsect of the city for now.
So what is your operation time? 7:24.
7 to 7.
7
Monday through Friday.
Monday to Friday, 7 in the morning to 7:00 evening.
Exactly, but we do, and
but you
we
don't do Saturday, Sunday.
Not at present, but we can always and do extend hours for special events where we want to be able to get the community out there. So, and we do this across all services. We extended hours for the tree lighting ceremony last Christmas.
Yeah, we have a July 4th coming up. Okay, so
I'll extend your hours.
Yeah, we pay possible. We need a service to move people into the sportplex for the event. Okay, and so currently, when is contract up?
November.
When we're out of money, I guess. The end of the year.
So till November this year.
I've been. Yeah.
So are we
launched
going
in November.
So when we like a program, so we have to approve this project again.
Yeah, and maybe reconsider parameters.
Yeah.
Extend times potentially, but right now this is what we propose to Metro, so we're working within our grant criteria.
We have to work on our grant till it run out and work with them.
Right.
Hopefully it will be long term because we don't want to disappoint Mr. G.
Yeah.
Uber, you have to pay. And another
I know, that's what
another thing, I really don't want to take Ollie home all the time, so maybe you guys can do it.
And Mr. G,
And Mr. G.
Okay, the council member Gutierrez, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, how is the grant currently allowed? Can we reapply for that grant, or how does that work?
I believe is a one-time. There are other grants that we may qualify for. If not, we would use the local return money we have for transportation to put the funding together for.
Would that be Prop A?
I was thinking of the same thing.
That's one. Yeah, Prop A, Prop C measures are in.
So the good news is you have 16 million.
I know.
Some of that 16. Yeah.
We might be able to extend your hours till midnight.
During council meetings.
You guys have to cut it out. $60 million is not that much of money, okay? Okay, so be conservative. Okay,
It's a motion to give Alex $16 million, please.
Go ahead.
Well, he had my question on Prop A, but the hard stop time, is there a hard stop? So if somebody puts in at 6:58, do you still take them because it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes to come by, and by the time they pick you up, it's already past 7?
Yeah, it's what you described is accurate. If someone's calling a car at the end of the service, we will incorporate that. It's at 7 o'clock when, like, imagine the app shuts down. You can no longer
Okay, so the
request a ride.
app
But
will shut down.
if you called a ride at 6:50 and you were met with a ride proposal that wasn't going to drop you off until 7:05, that would happen.
Perfect.
But it gives you alternatives too, right? I think it incorporates the local bus lines as an alternative, so it would point you to Foothill as the best available alternative.
And I just wanted to thank Kelly. You've been amazing when it comes to transportation on many levels. You've helped seniors. I know you've helped my mom. You've helped everybody with Dial a Ride, this, and just to navigate the whole program. Again, I want to thank you, Kelly, for all these that you've brought to us. So thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Kelly may be quiet, but he done a lot of
He does a lot of work. You're proven.
I know. I in the South Side, one of the senior, the resident, the lady, okay, and she been calling you all the time regarding when you can get an Uber effective, and she call you all the time, and Kelly call her back all the time.
You're amazing.
I thank you so much for the customer service.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for everything.
And I think this is a great program, and as long as a very picky Mr. G like it, it must be something good.
There you go.
Okay, and so for that, and otherwise we're going to receive a fine. But thank you, sir.
Thank you.
For the time.
Okay, again, appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Alex.
much. Okay, and this is receive a fine. Do I need to make a motion? Okay, receive a fine. Okay, thank you so much, and then we're moving to the City Council report. Okay, AB 123. If not, we don't have any. Then the City Council request City Council comment. Okay, and go ahead. Who want to go first? Ollie, you want to go first? Go
Yes, I just wanted to ask, I guess it's following up on beautification again. The weeds and the medians are still a problem all over the city, just all over. It's Azusa, the freeways everywhere. So please, I don't know what is happening and why this is still this way. I've complained about it multiple times, but I really would like to ask our colleagues here in council, please, to instruct staff to get on that.
I agree with you. I've been driving, and it's getting worse now. Our sidewalk is unbearable to see the jungle going up on the sidewalk. I think, and this is all the places, all districts,
everywhere.
Okay, and so every time I see a beautiful street, beautiful home, I see our sidewalk, and I think we pay for. Okay, this is
Bright View.
Bright View, yeah.
And,
Again,
and what happened to our contract, and so-called, we have to supervise the contract and by our staff. So what happened? So we need to make sure it's really. I agree with you. Okay, Ollie, you have a very good sense. Okay, about those issues. And any other council agree? Go ahead. Brian.
Yeah, I would like to make a council request to have Brightview present at the second meeting of June, if possible, and go over some of the contract terms that they do for our city, and if you could invite one of their representatives too.
Council member, okay, I think we've done that before. I don't think any improvement.
Right.
And there's really no point for them to come over here, give us the lip service, and we're wasting our time.
Okay.
I think
when does the contract expire?
We request the acting manager to talk to the public work to see if we can, hopefully something happen.
Okay, let me redo the council request. I'll rephrase it. Can city staff tell us maybe at the next meeting or the meeting after when the contract terms for Brightview expire?
Yes, we can. We can come forward with a game plan as well as how we're going to approach it in the future. There have been some initial conversations as recently as today, and maintenance, public works staff deputy director has also reached out to Brightview as well. So they have been put on notice, but we'll bring forward a plan.
And I think besides we ask them to about the contract thing, and I think nobody against that. But I think the problem is currently the city sidewalk doesn't look good. Okay, and we need to take care right away. So can we request the Brightview and our staff, public work to take care of the issue ASAP?
We'll provide the direction to Public Works in the morning.
Yes. Would you please,
Mr. Mayor?
Ollie, is that what you want?
Yes, as a quick assertion,
Go ahead.
do their doggone job. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the best, other than swearing.
We just like we like a broken record, and we've been reported all the places, and it's like nothing changed. And we just frustrated. Hopefully, and with the acting city manager coming, to help us to make things happen.
Understood.
Yeah, thank you. And any other city council, any requests? Mayor Pro Tem? No? Not yet. You have a mayor Pro Tem? You have a mayor?
No, I just wanted to say, because just to go back with Brightview stuff, because I also know that they, I think they're responsible to clean, do they also responsible to clean the restrooms at the parks and stuff too? Or?
Brightview's not responsible for the restrooms at the parks, no.
Or they lock them up, I don't understand, or something.
Say that again? I'm
sorry. Merchants locks up the restrooms. Merchants locks up the restrooms. Merchants locks up the restrooms at the park.
Okay.
But yeah, we will, like I said, we will bring forward, we'll get back to Public Works with the direction, and we'll bring something forward within the next meeting or two.
Yeah, if you could let us know maybe potentially what those both because I think those are the two most important contracts.
If I may, through the chair,
please.
I know that we have multiple contractors, correct, that do maintenance and public work types functions throughout our city. So perhaps it would be prudent for staff to bring to council just an overview of who does what. I think that would be helpful and beneficial. And then have an understanding of what those contract relationships are.
My understanding, I think we've been doing this for ages. The park, that is all merchant. And thank you. And then we award them $1.3 million to do all this district, LMD service district, to train all the hill, train the Woodgate Park and all this park. We award them to do it, but they haven't finished yet. And then in the median, sidewalk. Let's Brightview. So and my understanding, we only have two, and very clear. And then some of them is our staff. So this is.
We need to hold them accountable.
Hold on. Yeah, I know. Currently, the sidewalk, on the median have issues, especially sidewalk. And so we need a Brightview to really step up. But I think complaining about Brightview many times already. So hopefully they can make sure our sidewalk is presentable, and we can get this thing, so we don't have a continue to naggy, all the time repetition. So anyway, that is, we've been talking about this. We only have two contractors, Brightview and merchant.
Perfect.
So unless we want to go to RFP, but currently, I think last time it come out this
expire.
And do you know when the Brightview will expire?
We're coming up on the term of the contract. So one of the conversations that we've had internally one of the options was to go out for an RFP in advance of the term of the contract.
In June, our West Coast arborists will be turned out too, so we need to send our RFP.
That is correct.
Yes.
Staff has been working on that RFP. We've actually coordinated.
And then we still work on the Ethan, the 1383 contract, and then we're still working on the our street sweeping contract, and I think we need to get all this thing done. So, acting city manager, you have a heavy duty job. Council.
Real fast. The tree wells also should be included and the browning of the hillside where the trees were taken away. Nothing replanted. That has to be done too.
Yes. Okay.
And trees need to be cut at a higher, at a more deeper in.
And
probably 50 to 60%
and
per tree.
Train a little bit more than what they just train.
Because 10 and 30%
Another thing
is just ripping us off.
When they train on the hill, okay, all this debris and the branches should be removed. Okay, I saw a lot of places the branches and all this debris still live on the hill, and they become a fire hazard. And again, that should be done by our supervisor to make sure, okay, all these things they have done, so we pay them. If they don't do their job, how can we pay them if they don't do a proper job? We just want a nice, clean, and we pay what we agree upon. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And walnut.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Not yet. You have a comment. Okay. I know you want to go home. After you finish, you want to go home now? Okay.
He doesn't have 10
Exactly. I really
council
appreciate
requests.
Next meeting. Just kidding.
Okay, go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem, so we can go home.
No, I just wanted to thank the staff, specifically the ladies of West Covina, the staff at Shadow Oak for the Mommy and Me. They gave me a little tour, and they have upgraded, made it more festive, and just to see the increase of programming is amazing. I know that's the first year that they ever had a Mommy and Me tea, and I brought my mom and my daughter, but I was speaking to some of the residents inside, and they were excited. I had one mom who, her 13-year-old told her about this, and she brought her 13-year-old, and she brought her mother, and she was just saying, where was this throughout the many years that I've been here? And you know, I'm like, well, more is coming. So I wanted to thank the staff for putting that together. They are also having like this for Father's Day, a tiara and tie dance or something. So I definitely see more programming, more events, more community classes. And so I just wanted to thank the staff. Yes, yay, Susie, and the staff and everybody. I know she's gone for the day, but thank you. And they put a really nice event, and the caliber is to par. So thank you for that.
So any other comment? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and the meeting adjourned.